ti tó ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ó jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. ṣẹ́ni jí orúkọ bí tó aṣíwájú làmọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o. ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wà kísà ọmọ ẹlẹ́nu tó tún wá ń jẹ ẹ̀wọ̀n onílé tó ń sùn tàbí ẹ̀rù àsìkò ti tó a ò fẹ́ mọ́. ẹjẹ́ lọ́rọ̀ kan lẹ́nu káṣọ ń gbogbo papọ̀ ká má ṣe ra wa lọ́mọ ìyá Haúsá. ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá àwa èmi àti ẹ̀ṣà ló wà. ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. àìpọ̀ ọmọ ejò ló ń jẹ ejò ìyá ló ń fi.
àsìkò ti tó gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátápátá ẹ jẹ́ á ronú.
ọmọ Odùduwà ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá
a kí gbogbo wa pé a káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lálẹ́ òní.
lógún àsìkò ti tó.
ẹ má bínú pa àwa sórí ètò lánàá o iṣẹ́ ìlú náà la kúkú ń bá kiri.
lógún àsìkò ti tó.
Tẹ́rì ọmọ aládé akínyẹn káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Oòduà ti dé
iwájú
a
làwọn
máa kínyẹn kú dédé àsìkò yìí o.
àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
ti dé sórí ètò náà nìyẹn o bá a ṣe máa ń dé lójoojúmọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. òní ni ọjọ́ kejìdínlógún
Odùduwà ìṣọ̀kan
oṣù igbe
Yorùbá Yorùbá
okòólélẹ́gbàá ọdún lẹ́kan lẹ́yìn ìkọlù
ó
àwọn.
ti tó ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira
kí gbogbo apá káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
lógún àsìkò ti tó.
ṣe dáadáa la bá lé o.
ṣẹ́ni jí
bó o lójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí lónìí.
aṣíwájú làmọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá àkó àmójúbà orílẹ̀-èdè tuntun o àkó àmójúbà.
ọmọ Odùduwà ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún
Fẹ́mi Bọ́lájí akínyìn o.
tó ìṣọ̀kan
wọ́n ní ìjìnlẹ̀ dé ọmọ ọkọ truly Yorùbá man.
ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. ṣẹ́ni jí orúkọ bí
ẹ máa bá wa share ètò yìí.
aṣíwájú làmọ̀
ẹ máa bá wa share ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa.
ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o. ọmọ aláṣọ tó wà
Olúadé ayé tìmí kàn.
tó tún wá ń jẹ ẹ̀wọ̀n onílé
wọ́n ní you are welcome sir. ẹ ṣeun ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
tó a ò fẹ́ mọ́. ẹjẹ́ lọ́rọ̀ kan lẹ́nu káṣọ ń gbogbo papọ̀ ká má ṣe ra.
àjọ máa délẹ̀ ìlérí àti ẹ̀ ti délẹ̀ ìlérí náà o àti délẹ̀ ìlérí. ẹ máa bá mi share ètò yìí lálẹ́ ètò ní ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa.
Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. ìṣọ̀kan
ẹ o
òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó.
ilé kòkó ń ta gbé àjò olè dùn kó dídá ó márèwó ilé ẹyẹ bá ilẹ̀ yẹ lọ.
aṣíwájú làmọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
mo ní adé bí a ṣe ń dé.
tó wá wà kísà ọmọ ẹlẹ́.
adé towó adé tọlá adé tìyìn adé tògo adé tohùn tá a fi ń pèdè lẹ́nu tiwa lálẹ́ tòní. ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan lónìí o ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa.
Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún
kí ló ń tá a ní lónìí tá a fẹ́ gbéyẹ̀wò.
ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá
kí ló ń tá a fẹ́ bá wa sọ lónìí lórí ìkànnì yìí. àjọ máa gbádùn ẹ̀ ní bí òyìnbó ṣe ń gbádùn tíì.
ṣẹ́ni jí orúkọ bí tó.
Fẹ́mi Bọ́lájí wọ́n ní as for me and my family.
ní gbogbo
We have decided to liberate our people by any means necessary. No way for continuation slavery after knowing the truth. And the Bible says that you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Ẹ máa bá wa share ètò yìí lálẹ́ ètò ní ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa pátápátá.
ọmọ Odùduwà ìṣọ̀kan
jẹ mí lógún àti ará alé mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ Odùduwà yìí. Ẹ̀yin ń kọ́ tó jẹ yín lógún. Mo mọ̀ pé ó jẹ yín lógún kò torí ẹ̀ náà lẹ ṣe ń wá sórí ètò. Tá a bá ti wà lórí agbágbé báyìí tẹ́ ẹ máa dúró síbẹ̀ wá.
Aṣíwájú làwọn wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà.
Ó ní a ti dé bí a ṣe ń dé.
Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wá.
Mo dé báyìí ní tewé adé. Mo bọ̀ báyìí ní tọmọ Èdùmàrè. Adékólókó má lè roko bẹ́ẹ̀ ní o. Adékólódò má lè rodò. Àwọn adékọ́lọ́nà má lè yẹnà wò. Adékọ́lọ́mọ má lè sunkún ọmọ. Ìjìnlẹ̀ rédíò lélẹ́yìí nílùú Istanbul lórílẹ̀‐èdè Turkey. Ẹ máa bá wa share o. Mo lémi gangan lèmi wọn ò ní fẹ́ lòmíì ṣe mí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọn ò ní fẹ́ lòmíì ṣẹ̀yìn olólùfẹ́ wa.
Àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
Àpèmọ́ra ẹni là á pe tèmi dire. Ẹnu báyìí là á fi kọ méje o. Bàbá wa Kọ́láwọlé David Elégbèdé.
Ẹ̀wọ̀n orílẹ̀ tó ń sọ.
Mo ní ẹ kú ètò olóòtú.
Àsìkò ti tó a ò fẹ́ mọ́. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ lọ́rọ̀.
Àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o.
Má ṣe ra wa lọ́mọ ìyá Haúsá. Ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá, òmìnira Yorùbá, àwa èmi àti àṣà ló.
Àkú àmójúbà orílẹ̀-èdè tuntun àsìkò fetí sọ́nà. Nígbà tá a máa wá di official country láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Ibi a ti sọ fún yín wípé ibi tá à ń lọ ò jìn rárá ṣùgbọ́n ibi tá a fẹ́ yà máa pọ̀ díẹ̀. Báwọn bá tó ọdún oṣù péréte tó kù yìí. Ó máa lágbára ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Ó máa lágbára. Àsìkò yìí gangan ló yẹ káwa ó pa kìtì mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ká ṣe kíni? Ká sọ wípé ànígbà.
Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wá kísà.
Fẹ́mi Bọ́lájí, one day any Yoruba person that is against us for liberation of our people needs education before I will recommend them for psychiatric evaluation. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ wọ́tẹ́ fi ń ta àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ yìí kò ní ẹ̀ ní fi gbọ́mọ sí láṣẹ Ọlọ́run. Ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá ló jẹ mí lógún ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ẹ máa bá wa share ètò yìí lálẹ́ ètò yìí. Keep sharing the program. This is a segment where we enjoy ourselves with music before we go proper into the program.
Aṣíwájú làwọn wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
It's going to be powerful tonight. It's going to be fully loaded tonight. It's going to be exceptionally good tonight. Alẹ́ ètò ní ṣáà máa bá wa ṣí àná. The freedom of Yoruba nation is my banner. Until we get our nation, we keep talking, we keep educating our people, keep evangelizing. One thing I know and I'm very sure about is that we are getting our nation very, very soon, But how soon is? How soon? We need very soon. When I say very soon, I mean what I say. Láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà a máa délẹ̀ ìlérí wa. Àti ẹ̀ ti délẹ̀ ìlérí. Jẹ́sẹ̀ mọ̀ wípé lásìkò yẹn láti wákàtí yìí lọ. Ẹ bá rí Fúlàní lágbègbè yín. Ẹ ní àṣẹ láti fún wọn ní 24 hours ultimatum kí wọ́n kúrò lágbègbè yín.
Ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o.
Ẹ bá rí ọlọ́pàá location 419 tó hùwà kan tí ò tọ́ ẹ láṣẹ láti dá a lọ́wọ́ kọ́.
Ẹ̀wọ̀n orílẹ̀ tó ń sùn tàbí ẹ̀rù.
Ẹ láṣẹ láti pa òfin orílẹ̀-èdè location 419 láti pa á dà. Ẹ má jà o, ẹ má fa wàhálà, ẹ má ṣe jàgídíjàgan òun ló kàn lásìkò tá a wà yìí. Constitutional major ìyẹn ti kọjá lọ You have the right to do whatever you want to do now on your land. Because Yoruba belongs to us. Yoruba doesn't belong to Nigeria. Congratulations to my fellow Yorubas. Congratulations to my fellow Oduduwans. Congratulations to my brothers and sisters across the southern part and the middle belt of Nigeria. We are now free. We are free indeed. Nothing comes between us and our freedom, and nothing stops us. Nothing stopping us. We are getting there very shortly by the special grace of God. Bẹ́ẹ̀ má jẹ́ ká relent. Àsìkò tá a wà yìí ló máa lágbára jù o. Bí àwọn tá à ń bá jà yìí, wọn náà ò jókòó tẹ́tẹ́rẹ́ o. Ẹ má rò pé bá a ṣe ń ṣe tá tí wọ́n ní sùúrù tán dákẹ́ tí wọ́n sọ nǹkan kan yẹn. Ìpè bóyá wọn lérò ń gbà tiwọn o. Wọ́n lérò ń gbà tiwọn. Ó kàn jẹ́ pé ọ̀nà tá a gbà yọ sí wọn ó ṣe kíni ó lágbára díẹ̀ ó kọjá agbára wọn lọ ni. Ẹ máa bá wa share rẹ̀ láàrin ọgọ́fà ọdún tó kù yìí. Oríṣiríṣi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ 120 days. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú àwọn olórí wa ló máa padà wálé o gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ onínàkúnà ọjọ́ kìíní àná. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ló máa sọ pé ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ gbé e gbà. Aṣíwájú la mọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà. Ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí mo mọ̀ tó dá mi lójú gbangba kedere báyìí ni wípé aláṣọ tó wá wá. Kò sí bó ṣe léwu kí wọ́n gbìyànjú tó. Ọkùnrin àtobìnrin náà ní o tí wọ́n ń tàtọ̀rìn. Ẹja wa sọ fún wípé ẹnìkan máa lómi lẹ́yìn ẹsẹ̀ jura wọn lọ. Àwa awẹni tí àwọn alálẹ̀ máa tì lẹ́yìn. Wọ́n ní one God, one with God is a majority. We are going, and we are going. Nothing can stop us. Kí ló jẹ yín lógún ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa nílé? Ṣé ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá ni? Àbí kí ló jẹ yín lógún? Ẹ jẹ́ ká wá mọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ń bí o. Ọmọ ejò ló jẹ ejò ìyá ló fi kú pa wọ́n. If you believe in Yoruba nation, if you believe we are getting there very shortly, share this program as I am about to do now. Aṣíwájú la mọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o. Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wá kísà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́nu tó tún wá ń jẹ. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ọmọ onílé tó ń sùn tàbí ẹ̀rù, àsìkò ti tó a ò fẹ́ mọ́. Èyí tọ́mọ ẹlẹ́ran wá ti jẹ egun èyí ti tó lórílẹ̀‐èdè location confusion ẹ̀ bá wa ṣe àìtọ́ yẹn. Ọmọ Odùduwà bẹ́ẹ̀ Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. Ṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. Ṣẹ́ni ọ̀pọ̀ bí tó. Aṣíwájú la mọ̀ wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o. Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wá kísà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́nu tó tún wá ń jẹ. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ọmọ onílé tó ń sùn tàbí ẹ̀rù, àsìkò ti tó a ò fẹ́ mọ́. Ẹjẹ́ lọ́rọ̀ kan lẹ́nu káṣọ ń gbogbo papọ̀ ká má ṣe ra wa lọ́mọ ìyá Haúsá. Ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá àwa èmi àti àṣà ló wà. Ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. Ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ́ wá lógún àsìkò ti tó. Wá doríṣi ọ̀nà mélòó lẹ ti ṣá ètò yìí sí lálẹ́ tòní. Mo ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kan ń bọ̀ wá ṣẹlẹ̀ o lọ́jọ́ kìíní oṣù karùn-ún ọdún tá a wà yìí. Ó máa lágbára lórí ìkànnì yìí. It's going to loud. It's going to be powerful on the 1st of May. Come 1st of May this year. Níbi tá a ti máa ń pín tá a ti máa pín ẹ̀bùn fáwọn èèyàn wa lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan nílé o. Àwọn kankan wà tá a fẹ́ ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ tá à ń wí yìí. Orí YouTube yìí nìkan lẹ ti lè rí wa wò lọ́jọ́ náà. Ayé ni Adébọ̀wálé. Wọ́n ní God bless you my brother Marcus Ìjìnlẹ̀ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú Oòduà gbèwà o kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ àmì àṣẹ Ìdùmarè. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ bàbá wa. Wọ́n ní mo kí gbogbo ilé lórí ìkànnì yìí Yoruba Nation not negotiable and Nigeria now. Not negotiable.
Aṣíwájú làwọn wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà kí ló wá dé o. Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wà kísà ọmọ ẹlẹ́nu tó tún wá ń jẹ.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nílé. Bó lójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí lọ́dọ̀ tí ń bẹ̀ lónìí.
Àsìkò ti tó
àkú àmójúbà ìlú tuntun wa o.
ọlọ́rọ̀ kan lẹ́nu káṣọ ń gbogbo.
Orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá gangan ló yẹ kó máa pè ní ìlú tuntun. Ìlú tínú Ọlọ́run ọba mi dùn sí tọ́lọ́run ọba mi yàn fẹ́ tọ́lọ́run ọba mi ti ṣe lọ́gọ́. Òun lẹ́yìn tọ́mọ ẹlẹ́ran wa ti jẹ́gun yìí ti tó. Èyí tọ́mọ aláṣọ wá wà kísà yìí ti wá tó. Èyí tọ́mọ olówó wa wá ń tọrọ bárà kiri yìí ti tó gẹ́. Òun ó ti tó gẹ́. Ọpẹ́ ti já ẹlẹ́hà ti jáwé o.
Ọmọ ejò ló jẹ ejò ìyá ló ń fi.
Ìjà wa ṣera wa lóṣù ṣọwọ̀ ní sáà tá a tó yìí dáadé yìí ní gbàgede ibi tá a wà yìí. Let's come together as an entity. Let's come together as a group. Let's come together as a body. Let's build our nation togetherness. We stand. Ẹ jẹ́ ń sáré na lẹ́yìn sórí atẹ́gùn ẹ̀yìn èèyàn wa. Ilẹ̀ kan wà ní Atan Ọ̀tà. Èékà ilẹ̀ kan tó lọ ńlẹ̀ kó dowó. Àfẹ́ tà á tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ rà á. Ilẹ̀ tó máa tẹ́ ẹ̀yin lọ́rùn ni tí ò ní fún yín ní wàhálà. Ẹ kàn sí wa lẹ́yìn ètò. Èékà ilẹ̀ ni gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ nílò lórí ilẹ̀ yìí ti wà ń bẹ̀. Lóòótọ́ àti ìkọ́lé lé lórí. Ṣùgbọ́n ó ti wà lórí igbá o tẹ́ ẹ bá nílò ẹ̀.
Àìpọ̀ ọmọ ejò ló jẹ ejò ìyá ló ń fi ikú pa wọ́n o. Tọ́ka bá ṣíwájú.
Lọ máa tẹ̀lé Facebook ọmọ ọláwà ni.
Paramọ́lẹ̀.
Ọmọ ìyá àdùn. Lọ máa tẹ̀lé Facebook wọn. Ẹ má gbàgbé kẹ́ ẹ máa subscribe sórí péèjì ẹ máa lọ máa tẹ̀lé péèjì Káyé Gbọ́ with Àyànfẹ́ Olódùmarè nílùú Canada.
Ọmọ Odùduwà pé Yorùbá òmìnira Yorùbá ló jẹ wá lógún àsìkò tí ká sí.
Káyé Gbọ́ with Àyànfẹ́ Olódùmarè nílùú Canada.
Òmìnira Yorùbá ó jẹ wá.
Ibi tí wọ́n ti ń fi ẹ̀bùn tọrẹ lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan lónírúurú lóníranran. Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Sátidé ni o láago 8 ilẹ̀ Odùduwà.
Aṣíwájú làwọn wá sí ní gbogbo àgbáyé ọmọ Odùduwà.
Share this program tonight.
Ọmọ aláṣọ tó wá wà kísà ọmọ ẹlẹ́nu tó tún wá ń jẹ. Ẹ̀wọ̀n ọmọ onílé tó ń sùn tàbí ẹ̀.
Share this program.
Ó ti tó àwòfẹ́ mọ́.
This is how we do every day. Same time, same station, same person. Who says it's not possible? Who says we can't be there? Who says we won't be there? Tell them we are already there. Oríṣiríṣi nǹkan la máa gbéyẹ̀wò lálẹ́ tòní. Aago 9 ó kù ìṣẹ́jú mọ́kànlélógún lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ń bí 21 minutes at the dance app ahead of 20 minutes ahead of 9 p.m. here in Turkey. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, we are there.
Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ta ní pátá tó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ Yorùbá tí bá ní máa dàgbọ́ ilé aṣù. Ilé àmọ́ tó dàpọ̀ gan tó jọ̀wọ́ Yorùbá torí oríṣiríṣi ẹgbẹ́ ó wà. Òmìnira ló yẹ wá ó dẹ̀ máa tẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́ tá bá ṣe ra wa lóṣù.
Yá bó ṣe máa jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa nílé.
Òmìnira Yorùbá ó ló jẹ́ wá lógún òye ilé ìwé ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá.
Ṣeun púpọ̀ ẹ ṣé gan-an ni o dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín.
Ṣáníjì lórúkọ tèmi ṣòwò tó bá òmìnira Yorùbá lọ́jọ́ lógún àsìkò tí tó.
Thank you so much, and you're welcome to tonight's program. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa pátá akínyìn pé káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lálẹ́ tòní ṣe dáadáa làbálẹ̀ ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta o ẹ̀sìn kú bójú ọjọ́ ṣeré bó lọ́dọ̀ yín ṣeré lálẹ́ tòní akínyìn káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì Ìjìnlẹ̀ rédíò lórílẹ̀‐èdè Turkey nílùú Istanbul. Èmi ọmọ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín olólùfẹ́ yín apèdègbàyè gbogbo ilẹ̀ Turkey Guru Maharaji adẹ́rìn-pòṣónú àkè gbogbo wa o. Ojú tí ẹ fi ń wò wá kò ní fọ́, etí tí ẹ fi ń gbọ́ wá kò ní di. Láṣẹ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba ànírú ń gbé sọnù bí kò ṣe ibi ọmọ o. Àwa la máa dé, ẹ̀yin náà la máa dé bá. Ẹ̀dá tó bá ní àní dé nìkan ni àní dé bá o. Àwa sì wá ní kúsọ́nà bí èéfín àní kúsọ́nà bí àjọ o. Láṣẹ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba. Keep sharing this program as we are about to go proper into the program once again. Today, being the 18th of April 2021, it's 17 minutes ahead of the hour of 9 p.m. here in Turkey. As I told you, something is about to happen on this platform. Keep sharing this program, keep commenting, and don't forget, come 1st of May this year is going to be fully loaded as we are going to dish out some kind of we have some award I want to give to some people. We have some things we want to share with our people, especially our beautiful lovers and viewers across the world, especially the ones in Nigeria. So ama fún yín ní ẹ̀bùn lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan ẹ sọ fún àwọn ènìyàn wa tí wọ́n báyìí tí ìdarapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí YouTube pé they are missing a lot because it can only be on Facebook. We are going to give other gifts on Facebook, not on any other platform. Tabate máa cross stream ẹ̀ a jẹ́ wípé intentionally a kàn fẹ́ kí wọ́n wá sí orí YouTube ni. That is how it's going to be on the 1st of May this year. And there is a plot of, an acre of land at Aton, not very far from the main road, just like 2 minutes drive from the main road. If you're interested in it, with the documents and everything is available, please contact us after this program. It's not that expensive, very, very cheap compared to how much they sell land in that particular area. So contact us after the program. Thank you so much. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lónìí, àárín nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lópin ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí, pàápàá jùlọ láti ọjọ́ Friday títí di ọjọ́ Saturday, àrí gbogbo ẹ̀ bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri. A mọ̀ wípé Nàìjíríà a fún wọn ní 90 days ultimatum for the constitutional major. Was quite unfortunate wípé wọ́n wá for negotiation based on what our fathers, our mothers, our uncles were planning to do. They were expecting the federal government of Nigeria to come to the table so that they can have a mutual discussion. But it's quite unfortunate wípé wọ́n maintain doggedness wọn. And after then, another 30 days ultimatum was given to them. That is, they gave them another chance. Another chance was given to them. 30 days till expire on the 16th of this month, which was about 3 days ago or so. Now, Latiano, started from yesterday, you have the right to take control of whatever you have in that country called Yoruba Nation and Biafra Nation and the Middle Belt. You have the right to stand for your rights. You have the right to fight for your rights. You have the right to give anybody from the northern part of the country ultimatum, either 12 hours ultimatum, 24 hours ultimatum to pack their loads, their bag and baggage to leave your land or your house. Nobody will accuse you for that. Then we have another 120 days, which is 4 months, to evangelize, to tell our people our mission, what we want to do, what we need. And what do we need? We need Yoruba Nation. Referendum is about to take place. And that is going to be the last step towards our liberation. Because at the end of 120 days, United Nations is going to be invited to come and conduct referendum in Nigeria. So then, we will be leaving Nigeria for good. Because we need to leave Nigeria, otherwise something terrible is about to happen in that country. Not even only 1 or 2. Because you can imagine recently, Nigerian government printed money, 60 billion naira was printed after tí wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní yáwó, series of debts hanging on their neck. Series of debts hanging on Nigerian federal government's neck. Wọ́n yáwó ní China, wọ́n yáwó ní Hukuk. That is why you see Hukuk or whatever, what do you call it? You see their signboard everywhere. They have borrowed money with our land. And that's one of the major reasons we need to leave the country. We need to say, no, we don't want to be part of this country anymore. Because they went ahead and borrowed billions of dollars, telling them they want to construct road across the country. But what do we have in our area? Nothing. Pothole everywhere, pool of water everywhere on our road. So they borrowed money from Switzerland, from so many countries across the world. Wọ́n yáwó lóríṣiríṣi lónìrànràn lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan. That is why tẹ̀sí rí Hukuk tí wọ́n rí signboard wọn káàkiri. When the time comes, when it is time to pay the money, ẹ mọ̀ wípé ó ní owó kan tí yẹ kí Nigerian government kó san ní 2024. Ó ní owó kan tí yẹ kó san 2028. Bọ́n ṣe kó segment owó yẹn nìyẹn. And this money are going to the hands of individuals. Torí pé wọn ò ní nǹkan kan mọ́ tí wọ́n lè, kò sí ọ̀nà míì tí wọ́n ti lè gbà raise owó. That was the reason that money, 60 billion naira, was printed by the Nigerian government without the backing up of the gold, without the golden backup. So, and that's the reason we say we must leave the country now. before before Nigeria ends us. Because at the end of the day, if those debts were not paid, they are coming to take over our land, our seaport, our airport, our roads, our everywhere are going to be taken over by the creditors. So, we have 120 days to evangelize, to preach this gospel, to reach our people in the villages, on the road, at the marketplaces, churches, mosques, offices, and everywhere across our land. Please, at this juncture, we want to seize this opportunity to tell you that we need your help. We need your assistance. Share our programs. Share other programs of the people that are agitating for Yoruba nation. Share their programs. Call your people at home. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó wà ńlẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá jẹ́ ká tètè dìde báyìí, we may end up being strangers on our land. Because by the time táwọn creditors bá ti dé, tó má ti gba gbogbo nǹkan táwa ní, what else do we have? Nothing than to be living like slaves. A sì ń gbègbè, a sì sọ pé à ń gbègbè ayé ọmọ. Ìgbé ayé ẹrú sí àti ìgbègbè ayé ẹrú. Àti ìgbègbè ayé ẹrú. The terrible things are about to happen, looming on air. But in order kó má bàa jálé wa lórí, that is why tí a ṣe ń pariwo táǹkì tuntun. Fẹ́mi Bọ́lájí, wọ́n ní Nigeria is not a country but a British colony handed to an allied in Fulani whom is trusted because of low IQ. They told us Queen was present at the Independence 01/10/1960, but Princess was sent. Fẹ́mi Bọ́lájí, because it wasn't meant to be an independent but handling over a company to a trusted allied with low IQ. Wake up. Who is giving them guns? We need to stand up to these bullies. Thank you so much. We need to stand up now and say no to gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe. I am going to show us a video tonight. Níbi tí ìkan lára àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe àwọn British messengers, permit me to use that adjective to qualify him, because he worked for them before the independence. Their mission then, look at the video here. I played this video sometime last year, but I want to replay the video again so that you can enjoy it again. Then let us analyze it together. Now, in a situation whereby, in a country whereby a state has no access to the mineral resources on its land, that country is not supposed to be called a nation. And we say we are practicing we are under democracy. What is so demon? Crazy. Everything is all about demon and crazy. So that country is not supposed to be called a country. Thank you so much for your comments, and God bless you. Coal in Enugu, we all know nǹkan tí wọ́n fi coal ṣe, but it's quite unfortunate wípé the governor of Enugu State has no access to this thing. Everything belongs to the federal government of Nigeria because of the 1999 constitution that gives the autonomy power to the central government. The federal government and state government, wọ́n bá ní àáwọ̀, the federal government ló máa prevail. You cannot take them to court, you cannot sue them because of the immunity clause on the presidency, the president, the vice president, the senators, the governors. Wọ́n lè perpetrate any evil tó bá wù wọ́n. That's not supposed to be called a country. In Ibadan recently, gold was discovered. Shehu Makinde lọ sí Abuja láti lọ máa bẹ federal government pé ẹ mú clause kúrò nínú constitution. Let me take over my resources. Wọ́n ní no. These are the things we need to start telling our people now. Ìpè ní ilẹ̀ tí àwọn wà, 90% of our land nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ló kún fún solid mineral resources. Kò sí orílẹ̀-èdè tó yẹ kó ní owó tó wà in the whole world. Kò sí orílẹ̀-èdè náà tó yẹ kó ní owó tó wà in the whole world. But Nigeria has become the capital of poverty. What a shame. Is it? What a shame. When you are calling yourself a country with rich land, everything in excess, all the blessings in essence, but you cannot take care of your citizens. The wealth of a country is in the hands of individuals, few individuals. Tó bá tẹ̀ tún wá jẹ́ masses, ó ṣì dá, but few individuals. Ẹ wo automobile company tó wà ní tó ń gbé kalẹ̀ ní 1975. Where is it today? We cannot produce a tire. Not even a slipper. So jẹ́ indigenous company ló ń produce ẹ̀. Pẹ̀lú bọ́lá ń ṣe wá ní ọlọ́pọlọ tó. Now, láti wákàtí ìlọ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, no politician is allowed anymore. No Nigerian politician is allowed to campaign for any election again. You have the right to stop their rally. You have the right to stop their campaign. And no police, nobody can harass you. Because what we are doing has the backup of United Nations. Ẹ gbàgbé nípa United Kingdom. Ẹ gbàgbé nípa Britain. Britain has no mouth láti sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ at this juncture. You now have your life in your hand. You now have your future in your hand. You now have your success, your breakthrough, your liberty, your liberation in your hand. You can now determine how you want to live your life. Because United Nations supports nǹkan tá à ń ṣe, and no one can stop us from achieving it. Kí ni nǹkan tí mo sọ? No one can stop us anymore from doing what we want to do. Tí politician bá wá sàdúgbò yín pé ẹ wá dìbò fún mi, ẹ sọ pé stop it. Go to Nigeria and campaign. Here is no longer Nigeria. Here is Oduduwa nation. Kò sí anybody tó ní right láti disturb yín on that. Then another thing is that you can start sharing bills, going about with Oduduwa flag, doing anything, but without violence. Nílẹ̀ wa. You have the right to do it. Now, another thing tá a tún fẹ́ sọ fún wa ni wípé ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, wọ́n ní ojú ni alákànfin ṣọ́ orí. Ẹ má wá wò pé gbogbo eléyìí tá a kà sílẹ̀ yìí, but it's going to come on a platter of gold. Ẹ máa ṣọ́ káàkiri because a gbọ́ pé bíyá local government or government offices or houses kan, they brought some people from the northern part of the country. They brought some Fulanis from outside the country. Wọ́n há bọ̀ wọn. Ẹ lọ síbẹ̀. Ẹ fún wọn ní ultimatum. They need to leave your land. This land now belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the federal government of Nigeria. Then another thing where you are doing that, please, ẹ wà careful. Because Nigeria is a country where unthinkable can happen. Unthinkable happens in that country. So, as you are doing so, ẹ máa wà very careful, kẹ́ máa wà watchful. Tẹ́ bá rí ẹni tó yẹ pé ẹ̀rí ládùúgbò yín tó jẹ́ stranger, tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ rí, tẹ́ dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ìrìn ẹsẹ̀ ó gba ìfúnra, ẹ approach ẹ ṣàṣẹ, ẹ bèrè ibi tó ti wá. Tó bá sọ èdè tó jọmọ́ èdè tí ò kí ń ṣe èdè tiwa tó jọmọ́ àwọn ará bí, ẹ dá dúró, ẹ ṣàṣẹ. Ẹ ṣàṣẹ thoroughly. Lẹ́yìn eléyìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, mo sọ fún wa, ẹ má pa wọ́n, ẹ má ṣe wọ́n léṣe níbi tẹ́ ẹ wà, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má gbé sórí social media, ẹ rán wọn níṣẹ́. Àwọn iṣẹ́ kan wà tẹ́ ẹ máa rán wọn, ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí tẹ́ ẹ máa mú wọn, tẹ́ ẹ máa gbé wọn sórí social media. Stop that. Stop doing that. Ẹ kàn rán wọn níṣẹ́. tẹ́ ẹ bá rán wọn níṣẹ́ ẹ bá rán wọn níṣẹ́ dé tòrútòrú o àbí ìrìn àjò àlọ́ọ̀dé iṣẹ́ lẹ rán wọn o because lásìkò yìí ní ìwọ̀nba péréte tó kù yìí mo sọ fún wa wípé thank you so much ìyá wa Odùsànyà Bọ́lá God bless you ma wọ́n ní good afternoon my brother God bless you happy Sunday same to you from here ma. A wà lórí ètò ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa hello ma ẹ sùn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mà ṣé mo lè pè yín padà in the next 2 hours mo ti wà lórí program wa ẹ sùn ma ok ma ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ má bínú kó lè dá náà ni ẹ má bínú ẹ jẹ́ ká gbórin yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ wọ́n ti break wa ń bẹ̀ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí agbórin yẹn díẹ̀ ẹ má bínú wọ́n ti tààrọ̀ tiwa.
ọmọ Yorùbá ni ọjà ronú kété. ọmọ Yorùbá ni ọjà ronú kété. ọmọ Yorùbá ni ọjà ronú kété. Èkìtì ẹ̀yẹ wúre ló wà. Èkìtì ẹ̀yẹ wúre ló wà. Yorùbá nation. Olùlé Yorùbá republic ọjọ́sá. Ẹ̀ka parapọ̀ ká gbé Sunday Igboho lárugẹ. Sunday Igboho.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ronú ìjà ronú kété èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá ìjà ronú o ìjà ronú ẹ ṣé gan ni. To the YouTube that message from Abiodun 60 just trying to greet us said ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìlú Odùduwà gbé wa o that person was just because on kọ́kọ́ block a message on fẹ́ kó drop he was only trying to greet us and to thank us for this the yeoman's job. Thank you so much. God bless you. We really appreciate it. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa àdúpẹ́ púpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín ẹ ṣé gan ni. Níbo la bá dé? Ẹ jẹ́ kí a lọ sórí fídíò kan.
In the meantime, a traditional ruler in Yewa area of Ogun State, Oba Akintunde Akinyemi, is calling on the Ogun State governor, Dapo Abiodun, to fulfill his promises to his people by providing shelter for displaced residents who were victims of the farmers and herders clash. It should be recalled that the Yewa axis had been the epicenter of the farmers-herders conflict, leaving residents to seek refuge at neighboring Benin Republic. Now, speaking to Galaxy TV News on the sideline of an event, the first-class monarch acknowledged that his subjects are back from Benin Republic, where they sought refuge but are still not comfortable with the makeshift shelter they are currently using. The monarch noted the livelihood of his subjects have been destroyed, hence the need for the prompt intervention by the state government.
They are not comfortable. Yeah, because their houses have been burnt down by the Fulani X-Men, and we are still looking out for the governor to come around and build their houses back for them. By now that we should be seeing foundations, and since he has given a standing instruction to the commissioner for housing
please,
to build houses for those people. So I didn't expect any delay anymore, because whatever the governor says is a bound, and I expect it to materialize immediately.
Yeah, thank you so much. Tẹ́ bá wo ọba tó sọ̀rọ̀ tán yìí, ọba tó yẹ pé kò fi àyè gba ìgbàkúgbà ní ọ̀dọ̀ tiwọn ni. He has been agitating for Yoruba nation for quite a very long time, because he knows nǹkan tí àwọn Fúlàní tí wọ́n ń ṣe káàkiri ilẹ̀ wa. And if we can see somebody like him, like kings like him, monarch like him, like 10, mo mọ̀ wípé a tún rọ̀ wá lọ́rùn díẹ̀ sí. Thank you so much. But henceforth irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí will no longer be allowed in our land. wípé kí àwọn sójà kan máa lead àwọn Fúlàní kan lọ máa ná àwọn ènìyàn wa will no longer be condoled anymore on our land simply because ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa àti kọjá gbogbo stage yẹn ẹ̀yin náà tí ẹ jẹ́ aráàlú ẹ má sùn lásìkò yìí kò sí ẹ̀rù kankan fún yín mọ́ kò sí òjò fún yín mọ́. Yoruba land belongs to the Yoruba people. Yoruba land doesn't belong to the Fulani people. Yoruba land doesn't belong to Hausa people. Yoruba land doesn't belong to any other tribe but the Yoruba people because it's our ancestral land. So, ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí orí fídíò tá a fẹ́ play gangan lónìí. This video might take us like an hour or two to analyze, but please be patient as we are going to, and if it takes us like 30 minutes, no problem, there's nothing wrong in that. We are going to run through it. Gbọ́n máa bá wa ṣíà ẹ jẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ ká máa ṣe kíni ká máa gbádùn ètò yìí lọ lónìí. Bukky Oguns wọ́n ní Yorùbá nation is a solution no matter how the custom may be. Yorùbá nation will stand in Jesus name. Ó ní ọba ìṣèlú ẹ pẹ́ lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá yín láṣẹ Ìdùmarè. Amen. I say amen. So please don't allow anybody to intimidate you anymore. We've gone beyond that level. Don't allow any policeman to harass you anymore. We've gone beyond that level. Don't allow any soldier, any military man, be you anybody to harass you or to talk to you anymore, or any politician to intimidate you anymore. We've gone beyond that level. We've gone beyond that level. Although wọ́n máa gbé ìgbésẹ̀ lábẹ́lẹ̀ o ní pé àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ ó máa tún wá lágbára díẹ̀ sínsìn torí náà ẹ ń láti gádà ara yín nínú agbègbè nínú abúlé nínú ìlú ojúlala kan fi ń ṣọ́rí ẹ má sùn torí ó máa le ó máa lágbára díẹ̀. Now let's go on to the video.
Hello, and Mrs. Carol Smith, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I believe we know this man. His name is called Carlos Smith, one of the British staff during the colonial era, nígbà ayé kòló àti era. Ẹ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tó sọ mọ́ pé púpọ̀ nù wa ti rí fídíò yìí àti rí. So reason tí a ṣe gbé fídíò yìí wá ni wípé stop calling on British government to come and help you. Stop calling on British government to come and rescue you. Stop calling on British government to come and help us in Nigeria or in Yoruba land. Because gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn, all the problem with the situation we find ourselves today, our British government ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀, and they started this since 19th century successfully. Wọ́n ṣe ní ọdún 1914 nígbà tí when Nigeria was amalgamated, the southern and the northern part of the country were amalgamated in 1914. That was the beginning of our problem and where we find ourselves today. How can a person be assigned to rule three countries simultaneously? Is it possible? Wọ́n ní ajá kan ò kí ń rorò kó ṣọ́júlé méjì papọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo. But I just don't know, mi ò mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n pè wá, why they assign Lord Lugard to preside over three countries, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the Hausa together at the same time. A before the population came out, a population came out before independence. 6 months before the population, what if our northerners ne population number one? The one we did officially then was just a formality. They've wrapped up everything. They have their plan. They mapped it up because they know that Yorubas are not easy to control. They know that there is no way they could control our parents, our fathers, especially Baba Awolowo, Anthony Nahoro, and Nnamdi Azikiwe. Although Nnamdi Azikiwe perpetrated he committed a blunder then. Oni wọ́n ṣe tight your way. Torí nǹkan tí wọ́n fi lọ, wọ́n fi ọwọ́ ìwà balẹ̀nu. That is why we need to be very careful today. That is why we need to be very careful in whatever we do, either this agitation or you want to be part of the government. Now look at, for example, in Nigeria now. Governors from the southern part of the country do not have mouth to talk. Why? Because but compared to Autumn stands on his feet. he was being taken to the court, but ó padà eventually win ni wọn. That is how we need to live our lives, to be very careful, to be transparent enough in whatever we do, so that a ní ṣe àṣemáṣe tí ẹnu wa ò ní fi gbọ̀rọ̀. Now, because of nǹkan tí Nnamdi Azikiwe tó ṣe ń gbà yẹn, òun ni wọ́n fi di ọwọ́ Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nnamdi Azikiwe did not do what he did simply because he wanted to betray his people. No. Or because he wanted to betray the Yorubas and the rest part of the country. No. But because ó ti ṣe àṣemáṣe, nǹkan tí àwọn British tán fi kó ṣẹ́kẹ́ṣẹkẹ̀ sí lọ́wọ́ ń gbà yẹn nìyẹn. Now, whatever we do today, we need to be very careful. People are watching us. Even your close confidant will be the one to betray you tomorrow, to open your secret, to open the can of worm tomorrow. So anything taba fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wà transparent enough, so that when it is time to take the right action to máa affect àwọn èèyàn kan, nothing will stop us from doing so or from taking such an action. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ lára nǹkan tó bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa gbogbo ìgbà. Anywhere, anyhow, anywhere tàbá wà, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wà very, very extremely careful. Ẹ ṣé gan. Let's continue with this video.
Thank you. May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion. We've looked forward to speaking to an African television station for decades. This is something we have looked forward to for such a long time. And we are so
now let's listen to that man again. Britain. The only thing we can do, but not to go to the British government to come and help us. Because you know, I want to sponsor SARS. I want to provide the weapons for. I want to train you. And they know that our people won't commit atrocity. If not until time when you were and look at what happened after Tiwon. They just wasted the lives of those innocent future of the country. Ewa wo petition tí wọ́n send sí parliament UK till today. Gbọ́ anything pa ẹ̀ mọ́. You will never hear, you won't hear anything about it anymore. Because they have hands in all these things tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nigeria.
Mrs. Carol Smith, welcome to the program.
Thank you. May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion. We've looked forward to speaking to an African television station for decades. This is something we have looked forward to for such a long time, and we are so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Ṣẹ́rí Yorùbá ní tó bá rán ni níṣẹ́ ẹrú, bóyá ká fi ti ọmọ ká fi jẹ. Olórin kan ló kọ olórin, ó ní torí èní kọ́ o, torí ọ̀la ni o. Tètè ronú kó pìwàdà torí ọ̀la rẹ. Mo ní torí èní kọ́ o, torí ọ̀la ni o. Tètè ronú kó pìwàdà kọ́ lọ́jọ́ tó dé. Kì í ṣe kéèyàn ṣe nǹkan tán. At the end of the day, kó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa regret pé had I known, why did I do this? Wọ́n ní ṣogún tó fẹ́ fi lọ́mọ lọ́wọ́ yìí dára o. Torí èní kọ́ o, torí ọ̀la ni o. Tètè ronú kó pìwàdà torí ọ̀la rẹ. Look before you leap is better than leap before you look. Because if you don't look before you leap, only end up go jump sórí ẹ̀gún. Think before you say is better than say before you think. That is a medicine after death. Téèyàn bá rán ẹ níṣẹ́, sit yourself down. Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n rán mi yìí, does it worth it? Bó ṣe ní kí n discharge duty mi, should I discharge it that way or I should try to amend it? But wọ́n wá rán ẹ níṣẹ́, dìde o, kó lọ pa èèyàn kan. ó wá lọ síbẹ̀ ó débẹ̀ ó béèrè wípé kí ni lágbájá yìí ṣe ó pa tán ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ń regret pé why didn't I ask him, or why did I ask the person that sent me the offence of this person. Eléyìí ni wọ́n ń pè ní had I known, medicine after death tí kò yẹ kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So nígbà tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ tán tó bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń try láti amend, solution á ti wà too late, á ti wà too late, but you need to start nígbà tí wọ́n bá fún ẹ níṣẹ́ ṣe so that you don't make a mistake, costly or expensive mistake tí wàá máa regret títí ayérayé pé I shouldn't have done this. An intelligent man kò gbọ́dọ̀ máa live a regrettable life. I shouldn't have done this. Why did I do this? Why did I find myself in this mess? Ìyẹn ni wọ́n pè ní regret tí ò yẹ kó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí life ènìyàn. As a man, the ability to say yes and stand by it is what makes a man a man. But when you allow people to determine your future for you, to determine what you want to do for you, then you are not capable enough to be called a man. So, some people are still doing the same thing in Nigeria today. That is most of our leaders. They think today that they have been doing it in the past and they have been going scot-free. That at this junction now, whatever they do now is final. That they will also do it and go scot-free with it. But remember, your conscience. So we are justified pẹ̀lú conscience here. If you are not being justified by your conscience, go back. No matter how far you've gone on this wrong way, turn back. You can still re-amend your way. You can still retrace your way back to the beginning and start a new thing afresh.
Yeah, Mr. Aaron Smith was a young, bright, and principled Oxford University graduate who was recruited by the Colonial Office and posted to Nigeria. He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith.
Oh yeah, let's quickly go through the comment that we have here from Femi Bolaji. He said, Nigeria is never a country. Nor is it independent. It was a ceremony of a look after my company held on the 1st of October 1960. The question is, why did British government accept Nigeria passport? And on to text, you had another message. One message that ceased to exist on paper. We have been defrauded. British don't accept expiry papers. Why did acceptance of a non-existent passport? This is too much for me to bear. Not only you, sir. It's too much for every Yorubas to bear. It's too much for everybody from the southern part of the country to bear. Because, as you rightly said, Mr. Bolaji, there is no person that can be good that can be going to British now. You want to enter British via the immigration, the airport, the point of entry, or where debit on what tender expired passport. They will tell you why expired passport without visa. I'm just looking forward of doing that one day. If I'm able to get a British visa and I want to go there, when I get to the point of entry, I will hand them over Nigeria expired passport. This passport has expired. Yes, that's Nigeria. Nigeria has expired. Why do you still recognize Nigeria as an expired country? Why? You still continue to recognize Nigeria. You still continue to recognize Nigeria, to call Nigeria a country when Nigeria has expired very long time ago. And the same thing applicable to the rest of the world. Nigeria is not supposed to be recognized as a country anymore. We are living on expired drugs that is going to kill us any moment. That is going to harm us. Sorry for that language. That is going to harm us any moment from now, because you cannot live on expired drug. Anyone living on expired drug is risking his life. Wọ́n fi lé ayé òfin tàfàlà òfin wewu. Ó kàn fẹ́ kúkú àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. And that is kind of life we are living. Time bomb la ń jókòó lé ní Nàìjíríà tí gbogbo wa ò mọ̀. But I am so happy and I really appreciate our fathers and our mothers tí wọ́n ń jà fitafita fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá. And not only Yoruba, for the whole southern part of the country to liberate, to move out of that country called location contraction, where we don't have equal rights with some other part of the country. Zamfara has gold. And we won't control gold. It doesn't belong to the federal government of Nigeria, but we have gold in Ibadan. The chance was not given to us. It's not given to us to extract our gold and control our resources. What then we need the same country. The same country that doesn't exist on paper. The northern part of the country is there. One company to one bay. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport is there in Abuja. Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport was not used as collateral to borrow money from abroad. But they use our Muritala Mohammed International Airport, which is a Lagos airport anyway. They use it as collateral to borrow money from abroad. Ahmadu Bello Way is there in Kaduna. The road was not used to stand as collateral to borrow money, but they use Lagos Abeokuta Expressway to borrow money. They use it as collateral. The president's house, the presidency in Abuja is there. The Aso Rock is there in Abuja. It wasn't used as collateral to borrow money, but they use our seaport in Lagos to borrow money to stand as collateral. And all these things, these are our airport, the seaport, acting before independence. Acting before independence. Before they join us together. Before Nigeria became Nigeria. Years, 19th century, Latin Railway. Gbogbo kini gbogbo ẹ̀kan tí ó kàn ṣe yamayama bó ṣe wù wọ́n. With the help of the British government. But the end has come to it. That's why I'm so happy about what happened yesterday. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi Bolaji. Only Nigeria has as a country expired since 2014. The point is, am I not committing crime, renewing expired country passport in a foreign land? Yeah, we can still manage that. We can still pardon you, Mr. Bolaji. That is why we want to have our country. Some people believe that if you have an expired drug, you can still take it after 6 months. But just be careful, because it's going to react in such a negative way when you take it. The effectiveness will not be as when you are active. So that is why series of things are happening in Nigeria since 2014. Unbearable situation. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Kíní tó ń lọ fọ́nrán tó ń lọ lójú àgbàgbé yẹn. I use that thing for ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà yesterday. So you have to bear it with me. Let me take it away. Yeah, thank you. So it's better we leave it blank than to continue using ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà stuff. So that is it. So your sins are forgiven. Since you know that, Mr. Bolaji, your sins are forgiven. Just go and sin no more. Ẹ má bínú, gbogbo wa pátápátá la jẹ̀bi because I also renewed my passport after Nigeria has expired. So gbogbo wa pátápátá la jọ jẹ̀bi. So we need to forgive ourselves for that. Lucky Oguns, only British is a scam because they are the ones supporting Fulani murder to continue to control our amenities. That is the reasons they refuse to accept all our petitions signed. Irọ́ ni wọ́n pa. Sure. Whether they like it or not, a time is coming. Ṣebí Nàìjíríà la ṣe ń rí sí. A time is coming tó yẹ pé àwọn ará bí yìí gangan la máa rí sí. Then we will shout, we will scream, we need our nation. Ṣé rí àwọn ará bí yìí tí ẹ bá pariwo lé wọn, ẹ̀rù máa bà wọ́n, wọ́n máa juwọ́ lẹ̀ ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Gbogbo eléyìí tí wọ́n sì ń ṣe, wọ́n rò pé ṣeré-ṣeré là ń ṣe. Wọ́n mọ̀ wípé this thing no be ṣeré-ṣeré. We really mean it. We mean business. We really mean business and no going back. Let's continue with the video, Jare.
We met while they were both at Oxford University. Together they went to Nigeria where they had their 2 children. Mr. Aaron Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4 titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. You were alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959.
Now, very good, marvelous, wonderful. Yes, this is to show us that the foundation of Nigeria was established, constructed, and based on fraudulent. Nǹkan tó bá ti lè mú colonial master to intentionally rig election tó wáyé ní Nigeria prior the independence. Báwo lẹ ṣe wá fẹ́ kí àwọn tí wọ́n wá ń control ìlú kó máa ṣe kí ni conduct free and fair election? We shouldn't be surprised or abashed at this juncture that 1993 election was annulled because 1993 election was recognized worldwide as the freest and the fairest election ever conducted in the history of Nigeria. Now, prior to our independence, the election that took place, the first election that ever took place in Nigeria in 1959, was rigged, manipulated, tampered with by the British government, your colonial masters. By your colonial masters. Knowing fully well that if the free and fair election was conducted in Nigeria, there is no way the Fulani will win the election. But how did they do this? It was completely manipulated. Because they know the Yorubas and the Igbos will never succumb to their pressure, and they don't want us to develop like them. Because there were so many things that we had before the independence that the British government did not have. As in good things. The free education they never believed could exist in Nigeria, could happen in Nigeria, could take place in Nigeria, could take effect in Nigeria, happened to their surprise. To their surprise. They were so marveled that, wow, how did it happen? They even said that the kind of politics, the kind of government in the hands of Awolowo is bigger than Africa. Ìjọba tí Awólọ́wọ̀ gbé kalẹ̀, established by him, bigger than Africa. Are we not human beings? Are we not men? Is it because we are black or what? We are richer in wisdom, greater in knowledge, better in reasoning. Why? Tí wọ́n ṣe wá sọ wípé ìjọba táwọn gbé kalẹ̀ wípé èèyàn kan gbéjọba kalẹ̀, because when they want to choose the people that will take over their government, that will control their government, that will lead them, they look for the best brain. But in Africa, they make sure that dollars rule us in Africa. The worst brain is what they will choose for us. If you see the best brain, they will make sure that they frustrate his life. The former president of Tanzania is the president or prime minister. Why? Because Chinese government wanted to borrow them $10 billion to carry out some projects. And the man said no. And as they were giving them this offer, the Chinese government said they were going to bring their workers from their country to come and take over, to come and handle the project for them. The man said no. To the surprise of everybody, without borrowing a dime, this project was successfully carried out. At the end of the day, I didn't go to Sheles in mind. May his soul rest in peace. Now, how do you expect anything good to happen in a country to pay our colonial master? Don't you feel no more no eru? I could remember when we were in the village. On paying too much perpetrate evil lẹ́ẹ̀kan. O mama continue láti máa reign in life any. Let me forget about when we were in the village. Past are those days now. But we're just saying something that is related to the present now. Don't be surprised when election is being rigged in Nigeria. When the free and fair election has no room in that country. It started with your colonial masters. The election that took place in 1959. So, you don't need to be surprised. Surprise, surprise? You don't need to be surprised. Because Boshima continue and the trend will continue that way till eternity. How do you expect them to act on the petition given to them by the innocent soul, on behalf of the innocent soul? Do you want waste just like that? How do you want the parliament, the UK parliament, to act on it? Nígbà tí wọ́n ní ọwọ́ nínú nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. How do you want that to happen? It won't happen. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mo mọ̀ wípé tó bá jẹ́ Britain irú nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn ọmọ wa ti ṣẹlẹ̀. I am very sure if that thing had happened in the Britain, I am very sure action wọ́n máa ti take wọ́n ti parí case them for a very long time. They will have run it up over. I mean, they run it up the case. We need to rise up. We need to continue to evangelize, because that's the only thing we now need to do as a country. That is the only weapon we have now. Our weapon is not ammunition. It's not armor tank. It's not rockets. It's not fighter jet. It's not bomb. It's not atomic. It's not a weapon of mass destruction. But our weapon is evangelism. let our people think the other way around. Tell them that they are suffering. Not only to tell them, but give them the reasons. You need to back it up with reasons. And why we need to pin Gary with Nigeria. Don't force them. If you go to someone today, you preach to him, he listens to you. Congratulate him. Embrace him. And make sure there's something they call follow up. Remember, should follow up from time to time. Win at least a soul in a day. And compulsory it. And that particular person must also win a soul at least in a day. By the time 220 days, pay, go and check it. And marry how many souls 13 win. Because by telling them they are suffering, smiling and suffering and dying on daily basis, reason. They also will be so happy, delighted, excited to also preach the gospel. Don't be surprised. The person that will change his mind today to preach Fulani, tomorrow only win 1,000 souls within a day. We just need to move together to march to the promised land. But when you preach to somebody and he chooses not to listen to you, or he chooses not to listen to you, don't get crossed. Don't be angry. Don't be angry. Go back. Re-strategize. Perhaps the way Beshe Basoro might, in that country, frustration is certain. See, millions of people's life in Nigeria. Depression. In its numbers, hundreds, thousands, and millions. Someone that has a child and he knows the value of education. Passed when he was young, growing up, finding it difficult to get to where he wanted to go, or where he wanted to be, or where he needed to be. And he has a vision of tomorrow to give his children or child a better education. That's the reason he didn't have more than 1 or 2 kids, so that he could give them or him or her the best education he or she deserves. But because of the situation of the country, because of the unconduciveness of the situation of the country, he could not provide for his family. Ó dẹ̀ ti try ó ti gbìyànjú bó ṣe gbìyànjú tó náà ló ń jẹ́ gbogbo pàbó ìgbìyànjú ẹ̀ ń já sí pàbó. It will get to a stage that this person will start to think adiabatically. He will start to think anti-clockwise. If people are going this direction, ó máa gbìyànjú láti go the other way. He will never see anything good about this world anymore. That is frustration. So if you take this evangelism to such a person, it takes perseverance and patience to win such soul. Tó bá gbé lọ sọ́dọ̀ for the first time, tó bá kígbe mọ́ yín, ẹ kúrò ńbẹ̀, ẹ lọ sílé. Go and carry out your research. Mo lọ sọ́dọ̀ Baba Junior lánàá. I tried to speak with him, but ìṣe ló kàn pariwo mọ́ mi, ó ṣe kinní kan. Inú lè bí yín at that particular point in time, but don't be angry, don't get angry. Ẹ padà sílé. When you are coming back to him tomorrow, Don't give him the same gospel. Make sure you get close to him. Get closer to him. Ẹ wá worú nǹkan tó ń pass through. Is there any way you can help him out? Either financially or getting a job for him? Or is there anything that he is going through to need the counseling? Drop this agitation issue of a thing. Drop it first. Ẹ wo ọ̀nà tẹ́ lè gbà wọlé sí lára. If he needs counseling, if you know you cannot counsel him, look for someone that is more intelligent or that is in that aspect tó ti ní problem. Tó dẹ̀ gbàgbọ́ nínú nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. Let that person handle his case. By the time you do that, tẹ́ bá ní òkèlè ẹ̀bà méjì ńlé, tó bá jẹ̀bi ló ń pa, ẹ bá ní kóńgò ráìsì méjì nílé, ẹ gbìyànjú ẹ fún lágolo kan àbágolo méjì ńbẹ̀. Bàbá Junior, mo mọ̀ kàn ń bọ̀ ń ta ń sìn, mo kàn rí pé mo ní mind mi ó kàn cross mind mi. Meanwhile, ẹ ti ṣe findings yìí ò nítòsí ẹ̀ pé irú problem wo ni máa yé níná? Irú ìṣòro wo ni woman yé ní? Bàbá lágbájá, àfikọ́ lọ́hún ó ṣàánú fún wa ní o. Ṣẹ̀rí bàbá Junior, ó ń la nǹkan kọjá. Nǹkan tíyàwó ẹ̀ ń fojú ẹ̀ rí nínú ilé. Tíyàwó ẹ̀ bá kí èpè mọ́lẹ̀ báyìí, kí ló fà á, kí ni nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀? Jẹ́ á máa wòran ká fi ẹnu adákẹ́ ni. Torí owó yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé tí owó ọkọ aláàkọ tí ò bá ti lówó lọ́wọ́, ó ti di useless person. Ìyàwó aláìlówó ó ti di ìyàwó oníyàwó. Wá wò pé èmi náà ń jáde mò ń wọlé, mo rí 1,000 naira mú wálé. Lẹ́yìn tá a bá ti jẹun tó tá a bá ti gbogbo ẹ kàn lè máa lọ. Bàbá Junior, ẹ sáré wá náà, ẹ wà. Ẹ kàn ẹ wò, ẹ sáré rún mọ́ lọ́wọ́. Kó tó lawọ́ ẹ̀ kó tó ṣe kí nìkan, ẹ ti rún mọ́ lọ́wọ́, ẹ ti kọjá lọ síbi tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń lọ. Ó lè pè yín padà, bàbá kí nìkan, ẹ dúró ẹ má wọrí, tàbádé a máa sọ̀rọ̀. By the time tẹ́ ẹ bá máa padà wá, ẹ má bínú o. Torí ìgbà tí ìránṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run kan tó ń lọ sí Egypt tó mú ìyàwó ẹ̀ lọ síbẹ̀, ó rí pé ìyàwó òun fine. Tí má dé Egypt, tí má sọ pé ìyàwó mi ni, wọ́n á pa mí, wọ́n gba ìyàwó lọ́wọ́ mi. Tí má sọ pé àbúrò mi, wọ́n gba, Ọlọ́run wá sọ fún pé tó o bá ti débẹ̀, Ọlọ́run gangan ló sọ pé tó o bá ti débẹ̀, sọ fún wípé àbúrò ẹni. Bàtọ́ dẹ̀ dé ibi tó ń lọ, àbúrò mi ni, ilé máa fún iṣẹ́ máa fún mi ṣáyá, ẹ máa mú lọ. Ọlọ́run, áńgẹ́lì Ọlọ́run tí wàá lọ kọ sí ẹni ẹ pé má dán wò. Tó o bá dán wò, á dán tán, torí ìyàwó ẹ̀ ni. Àtúndọ̀jọ́ kejì ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ sọ ẹ̀rù ń bà mí nì. Gbàyàwó ẹ o, mi ò lè jọ kọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ ó bínú sí mi. Ẹ pẹ́ẹ́dẹ̀ ẹ sọ pé àbí mo kàn ṣe ń bọ̀, spirit mi kàn sọ mí, ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run kàn sọ mí pé kí n fún yín ní nǹkan kan. Tó bá tún dọjọ́ kejì, ẹ kàn lè sọ pé dáàdì Junior ẹ̀já ṣeré jáde. Ṣé mọ̀ pé evangelist ní ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ẹ́kan tá a ṣe campaign fún. Ẹ lè débi tí wọ́n ti ń tóúnjẹ. Dáàdì Junior, mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ra ráìsì ni o, mo fẹ́ ra kóńgò ráìsì méjì. Ra ráìsì o, mo fẹ́ ra kóńgò ráìsì méjì. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ bá mi ta rọ́bà ráìsì kan bẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ bá mi ta rọ́bà ẹ̀wà kan bẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ bá ń gbé fún Daddy Junior. Fúnra rẹ̀ gan ló máa wá sọ fún mi pé kí lè rí. By the time tẹ́ bá máa fi close mọ́ fún ọ̀sẹ̀ kan, gbogbo nǹkan tó wà nínú life ló máa sọ sí bí nǹkan tá a sọ fún yín lélẹ́yìí tá a ní ká gbalẹ̀ wa. Ṣó wù yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń live life yìí? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wà yìí, ó yẹ kí ìjọba máa take care ọmọ yín Junior tó ń lọ sí school. Ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ máa gbowó lórí ẹ̀ lóṣooṣù. Ó yẹ kí ìjọba fún yín nílé. Gbogbo gbẹgbẹ ẹ tẹ́gbẹ́ àwa jókòó á farabalẹ̀. Ó lè wá jó nǹkan ló máa wá jẹ́ talk of the town lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Odùduwà yìí. Ẹ má fi agídí mú ẹnikẹ́ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wàásù ìhìn rere. Ẹ má bínú pa àyàbàrá o kúrò tá à ń bá bọ̀. Mo ti sọ fún yín pé ibi tá à ń lọ ò ní jìn, ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀nà tá a fẹ́ yà ló máa pọ̀ jù. We are still on this video. We are still on the video. Yes, we are getting to the promised land. It's a gradual process. Nothing. Nothing. What did I say? Nothing can stop us. Not even the persecution. Not our government. Not the soldiers. Not the policemen. not the British government. Nobody can stop us. But we are the only set of the people that can stop us. Why báwo ni àṣìwá ní stop ara wa is that if you don't want us to stop us, you don't want us to stop us, we need to continue. Because we have a very short period of time. But during this short period of time, we are going to face a lot. But this is the junction where the heart people will be identified, where the boys are going to be separated from the men. The boys are going to be separated from the men at this junction. Tough time doesn't last, but tough people do. Do you want to be counted among the tough people? Or you want to be categorized among the tough time? If you are feeble or you are flexible, please fasten your bet at this junction. Because behind the tunnel, there is going to be a bright light. Bright one. But you are still in the tunnel now. We are moving. There is darkness everywhere. We don't even know the direction, which way to go. But create that light within yourself. Create the success within yourself. We started barely a year ago. We know how we started. Then we were just doing it. Virtually everybody just knew we were fighting for something. But we didn't know where to go. Or the way to go, the steps to take. But let me tell you, whatever you are doing, if you want to be master on it, keep doing it every day for 28 days. At the end of the 28 days, your level will change. And by the time you start doing something for 2 years, you are going to be extraordinarily perfect on it. And the more you're doing it, the more the way forward will be coming. Àwọn ọ̀nà kan máa wà tó máa jẹ́ pé ó máa wà unique tó máa wáyé. It will be coming up. So keep doing it. We are on the way. The right channel. Now look at it today. The way as we are going, as we are navigating through this wilderness. À ń pàdé àwọn difficulties kan. But the way we are meeting those difficulties, we believe that to every problem there must be a solution. As we are going through all this, we are getting solution to it. We are going through it. We are getting solution to it. Now, let me take us back memory lane. December 16, 2020, when a letter was written to the federal government of Nigeria. We didn't know that we need to publish this in a newspaper. But some people came up after writing the letter. After the letter was written, why don't you do this way? Why didn't you do it this way? And they did it. It worked powerfully. So then after the 90 days, okay, to take this step. And they took it. Here we are today. Now, the green light is coming up gradually. So we have a lot to do within this short period of time. Nǹkan tó divert attention mi. Olúkúnlé Káyọ̀dé wọ́n ní ẹ̀kọ́ ètò, thank you so much. Ayẹni Adébọ̀wálé wọ́n ní ọpọlọ yín ò ní jọba olóòtú, thank you. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Oòduà wọ́n ní ẹ̀kọ́ ètò olóòtú àgbà Marcus, thank you so much. God bless you. I really appreciate you for being part of this program whenever we come on air. Whenever we come on air. Thank you. Ẹ̀yẹ́ Totosan, God bless you. Thank you for the yeoman's job you are doing back home. May God continue to strengthen you. May God continue to uphold you. May God continue to renew your strength on daily basis. Ní kú sọ́nà bí èéfín. Now, ibi tá a ti yàbàrà, mo sọ fún pé this video might take like an hour, 2 hours or 3 hours, but we'll make sure we analyze the video tonight. But bá ṣe ń analyze, a máa divert díẹ̀, but we are still on the road. We are still on the road. Now, ìgbà tí government, colonial master, they organize an election. An election was staged based on fraud. That was the foundation of a new country based on fraud election. The result, the outcome of a fraud election. So how do you expect the true rulers of that country to base the next election, the successive election, on true nation? Kò lè ṣeé ṣe. And it's going to continue that way until we end the country and the country is completely disintegrated. Thank you so much. Ẹyẹ tuntun sùn, wọ́n ní àmì àṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ bá kọ orí system máa ń change ẹ̀, ṣùgbọ́n another gadget tí a fi ń change, tá a fi ń monitor ẹ̀ ń bí báyìí, ó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń kọ náà ló ń gbé jáde fún wa. We are getting there.
Mrs. Carol Smith, whom he met while they were both at Oxford University. Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Carol Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4, titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. You are alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct?
Yes.
Thank God you heard it from the horse's mouth. 1959 election was rigged. 1958 population census was also rigged. 6 months before the population, wọ́n ti fún àwọn northerners ní iye numbers tí wọ́n fẹ́ fún wọn. Figures wọn. When the when the population was yet to take place. In 1914, Nigeria, the southern part of the country and the northern part of the country, was amalgamated based on fraud. Now, how do you want such a country to prosper? The prosperity, because the leaders has already taught them, show them the way to go, how to rule their people, how to manage the country, how to mismanage the economy of the country, how to ruin the future of the country.
How long were you in Nigeria for?
And don't forget, October 12, 1960, Ahmadu Bello, the statement of Ahmadu Bello. That's the story. Emma wá gbàgbé pé an interview was conducted to this same man tó ti sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe. And that, I think that video came out October 12, 1960. Yeah, I think so. October 12, 1960. But I'm so happy I'm part of the history today. I'm part of this new era. I am one of those people that are fighting for their freedom, for the freedom of the people, and for the freedom of our children, and for the freedom of our future. Because our future is already in bondage.
From 1955 to 1960, and we were based in Lagos. I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital. And the port. I was the port labour officer as well, and I had employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port.
Now, don't be surprised. Kí ni tí ṣẹlẹ̀ ti pẹ́? Tí wọ́n máa gbé foreigners, wọ́n á gbé wá lé wa lórí. Kì í ṣe àwọn Fúlàní ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀. Fulani did not start it. Nah. Started from the colonial period. Yes, àwọn kan lè sọ pé it started since the day of Odùduwà. but ẹ má gbàgbé pé àwọn bàbá wa àwọn ọ̀mọ̀ràn tó mọyún ògbìn nínú nǹkan títí Odùduwà fi yàtọ̀ ní o. Tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan lẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ní ẹni tí wọ́n máa ń contact, àwọn ni wọ́n pè ní ẹlẹ́rìí ìpín àtòrí ẹni tí ò sunwọ̀n ṣe. Òun ló sọ fún wa wípé èèyàn kan bọ̀ kan fi jọba kò dẹ̀ wá kàn impose ara ẹ̀ pé dandan. Our people picked him. But let's forget about that. Let's go back to the topic of the day. What next? This man was in Nigeria between 1955 and 1959. 4 years. He was in charge of our port. The port that we built with our money. He was in charge of it. The same thing today. Out of about 15 directors in the seaport, I think 30 or 14 are Fulanis. Gbogbo parastatals who are Nigeria belong, and Fulani long control ẹ̀. Ọ̀nà ìdàkọ́ máa sọ pé àwọn làwọn ní Nigeria. And they are less than 3 million in Nigeria. Now the 3% of 100 million is 3 million. So the 3% of 200 million is not up to 1.5 million. Yeah. And I think their population is 3.9% of our population, which means that their population is not even up to 2 million in Nigeria. Let's assume that, let's say 4%. And that 4% will be 2 million, equivalent to 2 million. Are calling people with a population of over 20 million, over 40 million, 60 million, they are calling them minority. I don't blame them anyway. Why I don't blame them is because the Hausas are not strong enough to talk. They are not buoyant enough to talk. They are not bold enough to talk to defend their land anymore. Now, look at the trend. Ẹ wo bó ṣe ń bọ̀ láti 1954. Ẹ wá wo gbogbo àwọn kí náà máa ń pe àwọn ọ̀gá wọn ní port láti that 1964 till date. Ẹ wo iye ọmọ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ wo iye numbers of Hausa Fulani tó ti ń rule in our land. Now, let me tell you again this. We have right now to go to the seaport and tell them we don't need any Fulani again. We don't want any Fulani again in the seaport. We have the right to do that now. We have the right to go to the airport and say the same thing to them. We have the right to take over what belongs to us in our land. Láti àná. Our father said, because they didn't want to be too forward, they didn't want to push our people too much. Ni wọ́n ṣe sọ fún wípé since December 16, 2020, làwa ti ní right láti take over gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí. We have the right to take over our border. We have the right to take over our airport. We have the right to take over everything that belongs to us in the southern part of the country. Pé wọ́n mọ̀ máa sọ fún àwọn ènìyàn so that àwọn èèyàn wọ́n ní wà too aggressive. Wọ́n ní act ahead of time. But láti àná, we have the right to do whatever we want to do in our land. Tẹ́ bá sọ wípé ibùdó ibi tí wọ́n ti ń wa epo lẹ́ni ẹ wá fẹ́ jà ẹ fẹ́ dàbẹ̀rú, you have the right to do it. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má commit atrocity, ẹ má perpetrate evil. Don't do that. Don't perpetrate evil. Àkànṣọ ni ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ̀yin funfun lábẹ́ ahọ́n gẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ máa wà nísàlẹ̀ ẹkùn lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan. Let's continue with the video.
The port labour officer as well. And I also devised a port labour scheme and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a providence scheme. As I say, it's called the National Providence Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
Your position to held. Anyway, that's not my problem anyway. That's not my problem. But my problem is foundation tí wọ́n gbé Nigeria lé lórí. The foundation tí wọ́n fún Nigeria is a major problem I have. So I don't have problem with the white people because gone are those days. When during the colonial era, when the colonial era, we're still alive, living like human being, eating like normal human being. And meanwhile, you and I know where colonial and era belong to. You know yekpe ni wọ́n gbé. No yekpe ni wọ́n gbé.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned 3 important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you are there?
I was a labour officer, a senior
The labour officer,
civil servant,
senior civil servant, a graduate, a young graduate, senior civil servant, labour officer.
I only intended to stay in Lagos initially for 2 tours of duty.
It's even good. I'm even happy that at the end of the day, it's rather too late for him to come out now and start talking. But there are so many of them that perpetrated more evil than him, than he did. But they won't come out. Why? Because they don't like us. Why? Because they hate us. Why? Because they are jealous of our qualities. Why? Because they don't want us to be known as one of the great countries in the world. They don't want us to liberate Africa. They don't want Africa to move out of the bondage. But at least, despite the fact that one threat money from time to time, he still at least summon the courage to come out and say something. But I want us to learn lessons from this. I'm coming.
Although because of this conflict with the elections, there were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service. They were determined that I should stay in the civil service after my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives, including a knighthood, to stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets. I learned, and the Governor-General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged, contrived. The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
I hope you can see. So now, I want to seize this opportunity to speak with our... I don't even know how to qualify them. The adjective. Timole, if you qualify one. Adewale Shakiro, Eshengbupo Ikabasa, Ganio Adeleke, thank you so much for being part of this program. When the electoral officer could open his mouth and confirm something like this, what else do we want? And Emma Gbagbe, Amadu Bello said it. Nígbà yẹn, was it Amadu Bello Tafawa Balewa? Yeah, he's the one. Amadu Bello Tafawa Balewa. He said, tí àwọn ò bá lè achieve èmu wọn, they are going to acquire the foreign government the foreign mercenaries to come and help them out, which is what they are doing today. The agenda of Ahmadu Bello is what they are acting on till today. It's what they are acting upon. But it's quite unfortunate, and it's a pity that some of our leaders still sitting down there thinking Nigeria will become their property forever and ever. Oppressors will continue to rule the oppressed. The oppressors will continue to do whatever they want or they like to the oppressed. But remember, they forgot that a day is coming when the oppressed will rise up against the oppressors. When the oppressed will say no to the oppressors. When everybody will be ready to fight for his dear lives. When everybody will be ready to free themselves. Inú mi kàn as in àánú kàn ń ṣe mí fún àwọn kan tí wọ́n pera wọn ní olórí wa tó sì jẹ́ pé àwọn gangan ní igi wọ́rọ́kọ́ tó ń dáná rú lónìí. Ẹ má gbàgbé o, bí kú ilé ò bá pa ni tòde ò lè pa ni. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, there are some of our leaders, although they are few in number, tó yẹ pé àwọn gangan ni wọ́n fún Fúlàní lọ́wọ́. Fúlàní ò lè lọ síbì kan kó lọ ṣe iṣẹ́ or kó ṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa successfully without the connection of the indigenous people. It's no longer a story or rumor that the first time the Fulani set their feet on the soil of Nigeria was 1804. But how did they succeed? How did they prosper? How were they able to take over the Hausa land from the indigenous people of Hausa because they liaise with the indigenous people, which is what they are doing in our land today. A country where they have the highest number of Fulani is Guinea. But ever Fulani kan kó wà lórí oyè ní Guinea because the chance was not given to them. They know what they could do. They know. But my surprise is that as these people came to our country, they keep telling our people what they want to do, their mission. And they keep saying nothing can stop us from carrying out our mission, from getting this Nigeria from the indigenous people. And our leaders see all this. If what we have been saying is propaganda, what about what this white man is saying? What do we call it? Is he lying against himself? This man, when he left Nigeria, he was arrested and jailed. Simply because he wanted to say the truth. Because he left his job. Because he told them that what you guys are doing to these people is wrong. You should allow them to rule their lives, to rule their country, to take over their destiny. Because of that, he was arrested and jailed, sent to prison for no reason. Because we want to continue They know by the time we get our nation, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to tell us what to do, because we already know what to do. Like Natasha said, I don't spend my entire life washing cats the way it goes, because I already know where I want it to go. We already know how to rule ourselves and how we want to rule ourselves. So we don't need you to dictate to us, to tell us what to do or how to rule ourselves or where to go or how to go about doing our things. The best 3 airports in Britain, owned by a Nigerian, by a Yoruba man. We can bring that man in when we get our independence. Oh yeah, give us a better airport than the one we have now. He came to Nigeria some time ago that he wanted to come and give us electricity. Nigerian government said no. We don't need your assistance. We don't want you. He went back to his base, flourishing, doing well. We have them. I know why they are afraid. The reason they are afraid is that they know that by the time we get our country, there won't be any room for them. Because we are wise enough to choose the best leader for ourselves. Perhaps we made mistakes like the Israelites in those days, God, when they said, Lord, we don't want prophets anymore, but we need king. Perhaps we made mistakes by saying we don't want kings again over us, but we need our freedom. We want to have president like other countries. Perhaps we made mistakes by saying, no, we want to have cordial relationship with the northerners. Perhaps it happened that way. God said, okay, no problem. But remember, Ọba lónílẹ̀ o, tó bá láṣẹ, aláṣẹ ìkejì òrìṣà. I am going to give you freedom. I am going to give you president. But you will never have the right president. And you are going to suffer for 60 good years. Like Nebuchadnezzar did for 7 years. Kí ọpọlọ ẹ̀ kó tó open. But now, we know we have been moving on the wrong path. We want to go back again to the base. Let the structure be destroyed, be dismantled. Let us lay a good new foundation so that we can have a strong structure that is not based on fraudulence, on atrocity, on mismanagement, on lies, like the one given to us by the British government in 1959. Fake election, rigged election, fraudulence. I know the time has come. No going back. No compromise. Brethren, no compromise. As for me, there is no looking back. I won't compromise. Má ṣe wẹ̀yìn o, má bójú wẹ̀yìn o. Ní tèmi, èmi kì yóò bójú wẹ̀yìn. Èmi kò ní padà. Kò sẹ́ni tó fi ọwọ́ lé ohun ìtúlẹ̀ tó bójú wẹ̀yìn tó yẹ láti wọlé ìlérí wa, which is ilẹ̀ Odùduwà, the land that is flowing with honey and milk. The great land, the most fertile land in the world, the land of the great men, wise men. I am proud to be called a Yoruba man. No matter what we are going through today, no matter how people see us No matter what they think about us in Africa, no matter what they say about us as black race, I am proud to be called a Yoruba man. And I am proud to fight, to be part of these agitators. What about you? Don't look back. We are almost there. Few months to go. Few days to suffer. Few weeks to have sleepless nights. And few months to plan our future. The foundation has been laid. You might not see it yet, but I can see it. I can smell it. I can touch it. Not like the one given to Nigeria. Not like the one laid down for Nigeria. But this is a unique foundation. This is a special foundation for a special country. By special people. For special people. Our future is now. Let's take it. Let's continue with the video.
Even in 56, the northern leaders were very proud and were saying if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections, they might not join Nigeria, they might leave. And we all thought, well, how would they survive?
Shatibo? No, because they believe that they can manipulate the Hausa people. They believe they can manipulate the northerners. They know if they should allow us to be in power, then they know that the power will never ever go to the north. Because we are going to rule Nigeria in such a way that the people from abroad will come and envy us, emulate us, how they marvel at us. And they are thinking about the survivors of the northerners. How did they survive? Okay, this is what we are going to do for them to survive at the expense of the southerners. Let us manipulate this election. Let's manipulate the election. Let's rig the election on their behalf. And after rigging the election, remember he said something. We know that the northerners cannot rule a country. They don't have the capacity to rule a country. They don't have the wisdom and knowledge to rule a country. That is why you see Nigeria turning upside down today. That is why you see things are not working in the country today. Check them since inception. Since 1960 to date. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n rule. Is it Babangida tí gbogbo yín sing the praises of Maradona? Babangida destroy, dismantle, kill our economy. See, the day of Babangida, only economy yẹn ti bàjẹ́ tán finally, and the economy ò lè dìde mọ́ láíláí. Because as at 1985, our currency was still 85 kobo per dollar, even during the time of Buhari then. It was still 85 kobo. Our currency was more valuable than dollar. Then our currency was equivalent to pound sterling. But when Babangida got there, he went on borrowing money upon money. He went ahead and gave over 20, I think about 21 or 25 billion dollars to Islamize Nigeria. He gave it to the Islamic organization, whatever, IOC, to Islamize Nigeria, to Fulanize Nigeria. It's not the agenda of today. That is why I'm very proud of our leaders in the southern part of the country. The leaders that are ready to take us out of this bondage. Look at what they plan for 1 year. It overruns what they have been planning since 1960. even in conjunction with British government. So that is to tell you that if we can be together in the next 5 years and we have our own nation, see what will happen. Great things will happen. Wonderful things will happen. The things you could never even imagine will happen in Nigeria in the next 1,000 years will begin to happen in Yoruba land. Because we have all it takes. Politicians remain the same. When the hunter becomes the hunted, same way, Kwara State. Ẹdìyẹ ti bà lókun.
Confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged, contrived. The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
The intention was that the North should hold Nigeria so that they too can come and hold the Northerners. Look at the equation. The Northerners should come, the Northerners should hold Nigeria so that they too can come and hold the Northerners. He who plays the pipers dictates the tune. And ito leru lo leru. That is it. Because they know that if Yoruba should hold Nigeria, there is no way for them to come and penetrate through this opaque hole, the opaque wall. There won't be room for them. Because they know they still have a lot to achieve by making sure that the North holds Nigeria.
Even in 1956, the northern leaders were very proud and were saying, if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections, they might not join Nigeria, they might leave. And we all thought, well, how would they survive? There were no industries, there's not a great deal of agriculture, some groundnuts in the north. This wasn't very practical at all. And then the Governor General seemed to be thinking that the North couldn't, even if it won an election, rule Nigeria by itself. The South wouldn't stand for that.
Shetibo, the Southerners were so sound, but the Northerners could not even hold election and succeed. Talk of ruling a nation. And these are the people our leaders are saying today, I want to go with them, whatever they say is the final. How dare them? How come? The people, these people are qualifying as, these people cannot rule a nation. They cannot hold election successfully. And these are the set of people. Teloma Yaba, remember? We're so happy because he's gradually coming back home. When this thing started, we didn't even know maybe Abuja Lonsun Abi Ile Woni Efe. Why? Because they were afraid. He was afraid. Seriously afraid, jittering. What the outcome could be. But we're so happy now. We're happy now. We're happy. He's gradually coming back home. But that's not enough. We need the totality of his commitment. Full support. Full blown. Speak out. What a heart can conceive, it can achieve. Speak out. The words you fail to speak out can never, ever work for you. Or it will never work for you. It won't. But what you say matters a lot. Your children are not afraid of anything because they know that the worst has come to them. So, why should they be afraid? The graduates The unemployed graduates that have suffered a lot in the hands of oppressors? Is that one? Lẹ́ máa sọ pé kó gbọ́dọ̀ bẹ̀rù. Abẹ́ni tó lọ sí hospital tí ò rówó hospital sọ. Many people are in the hospital today. The doctors are holding them to ransom. Why? Because wọ́n gbé wọn lọ sí hospital, wọ́n kàn tiẹ̀ mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ tọ́jú wọn. They could not afford to pay the hospital bill. Sáwọn ilẹ̀ fẹ́ kàn bẹ̀rù. Àbí ẹni tó ti pé 45 years tó sì ń pè rẹ̀ ní youth tó sì ń gbé lábẹ́ parents, 45 years old man. And remember, in abroad, if you are 18, you are an adult. You can have your car, you can have your, even in America, when you are 14, you've grown up enough to have to drive your car, to have your own car at 14 in America. And in some other parts of the world, when you are 18, you are entitled to have your own house, to have your job, to have your car. But at 45 in Nigeria, they are still call themselves youth. Parents are still taking care of them. Because they don't want to die. Everybody is taking his life in his hands. Thank you. Thank you, Ayeton. God bless you. Not going back. No compromise. Brethren, no compromise. As for me, there is no looking back. I won't compromise. No compromise. Never ever. I don't compromise. As for me, there is no looking back. I won't compromise. No compromise, no matter how. The Fulani, the Northerners, could not organize a successful election. But they planned it. They planned it very well. They doctored it. It was properly doctored. Finishing job, tidy up. But no matter how far, see, if we tell you Banshi, a time is coming. That is why they said there is no secrets under this heaven. No secrets. The secret you are hiding today will come up again on the ceiling, on the roof. It will be exposed to the rest of the world. Wọ́n ní ohun tójú bá rí ń ló yẹ kẹ́nu ó wí, ohun tójú bá rí ń ló yẹ kẹ́nu ó sọ. Torí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ kọ̀kọ̀ tá a bá ṣe lábẹ́ òrùlé lórí òrùlé láàgbé gbọ́ lọ́jọ́ ọjọ́ kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo ohun tá a bá ṣe láyé, no secret. Because there is no how tó ṣe lè wà secrecy tó, you will get someone that is very close to you that you will reveal the secret to. And that person will also reveal it to his confidant. That is why they say, your true friends will have their true friends somewhere. Look at it. They've been hiding it for decades, for scores. At the end of the day, what happened? It came out. But they will never ever talk about it. Look at what one man said in the parliament last year about the half of Nigerian wealth taken from Nigeria to UK by Gowon. It may be by an accident, but the secret was revealed. Despite the fact that wọ́n gbé gbèsè lé lórí, and the British government denied it. Tí ó bá ń ṣe pé ariwo pọ̀ nígbà EndSARS ìwé tí wọ́n kọ petition tí wọ́n sign parliament ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Even despite that, no sanction was given to Nigeria. Not even their officials. Buhari was sick to UK, to England to take care of himself. I know it's a lie. Wọ́n lọ síbẹ̀ láti proper plan wọn láti tún ṣe ó ti dàrú mọ́ wọn lójú. Remember, Ahmadu Bello said, if we cannot achieve our goals, we will hire the foreign experts to come and help us out. That's exactly what they're doing. $1 billion ammunition purchase money. Buratai ogbedile owó. At the end of the day, wọ́n fi ṣe ambassador. Ambassador tí wọ́n fi ṣe kílẹ̀ rò pé iṣẹ́ wo ló fẹ́ máa ṣe. Iṣẹ́ tó ṣe kùngbà tó wà ní chief of armed staff, armed forces, òun ló padà lọ complete níbi tó wà. Cause looking for the allies nígbà tí ìjà bá máa délẹ̀. Torí ẹ̀ mo ṣe sọ fún yín pé these remaining few days, few months, few weeks tá fẹ́ lòye is going to be hotter than ever before. We need to sit tight. Because they have many allies across the world. But that won't stop us. It won't stop us because Tiko Tisi got to stop at this moment. Nothing can stop us. No matter how hard they try. Take it or leave it. So if you don't believe in what we're doing, you better go back home, sleep and wake up. Perhaps by the time you wake up, or you just sit down and have a rethinking of mind. That is like, these people really mean business. No retreat, no surrender. Thank you so much. Let's continue with the video.
So there has to be a partner, either the Igbos in the east or the Yoruba.
They have to be part of the evil. They have to plan to be part of it. And that's what is going on now. Because when we're talking about the Fulani people and we're talking about the Northerners, we need to keep mentioning the British people. Because they don't want us to be free.
Agriculture, some groundnuts.
Last December, Nigeria entered the blacklist of America. You know what it takes? Key country control one blacklist America. It takes them time. Let's take a decision in America, but they make sure that they find out the truth. They carry out their research. Want to an watch list Nigeria since 2016, 17, 18, 19. Remember, àwọn ni wọ́n kọ́kọ́ sọ fún wa wípé the ISIS and the Islamic State of West Africa, ISWA, where they are planning to migrate from the north center, northeast to north center to the southern part of the country. Wípé wọ́n ti ní àwọn ibùba like 1,300 or 1,200. Ibi tí wọ́n ń gbé in our deserts, in our forests. American government, àwọn ni wọ́n kọ́kọ́ sọ síta. And these are the things. So you can't British come and share, but they will never do it because they know. Àwọn gogo ni wọ́n support, wọ́n sponsor àwọn people yìí. In collaboration with the French government. Now, December, Nigeria wọnú blacklist America. But British government wọ́n rí nǹkan tí ò dá tí Nigerian government ń ṣe. Nigerian government are doing the right thing because they are dancing to their tunes. So when would they justify them? Wọ́n máa justify because nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe onírò wọn tó ń jó ẹni tó ń lùlù ó wà létí nínú odò tó ń lùlù fún wọn.
In the north, This wasn't very practical at all. And then it was, the Governor-General seemed to be thinking that the North couldn't, even if it won an election, rule Nigeria by itself. The South wouldn't stand for that. So there had to be a partner, either the Igbos in the East or the Yoruba in the West, to team up with the...
Now, this is another tactics they are using, they have been using. Now they know that the Northerners could not hold election, win the election, and rule a country by themselves. But they have to look for a partner. Musoro Nnamdi Azikiwe, this is where his issue comes in. I will show it to us. This is where it comes in. They have to look for ally, a partner, either from the Yoruba or from the North, from the Igbos. And they knew pretty well that the Yoruba, especially Baba Awolowo, would never, ever be part of it. Yes, he was a nationalist. But Awonfe Daduro, he wanted to set a good example for others to emulate.
North. What he didn't want was for the two southern parties, the Igbo and the Yoruba, to team up to form the government, because he believed the North wouldn't tolerate that and talked about leaving the federation. So as I learned, in a small way at first, but very rapidly I learned about the election fixing, and as I say, this was confirmed to me by the Governor-General.
By the Governor-General of Nigeria then. The Governor-General. Let me go and check the name of the Governor-General. You need to give me like 2 minutes to do that. One more slow, dear. Nigeria Governor-General. It might be no Governor-General. It might be no 1965 to 1960. Yeah. Oh. Okay, 1960. Central Casas. It might be no, Ejo. Oh, yeah. Sir Frederick Lugar was 1914 to 1919. 1954, Governor General. Come on, don't come here. I have a program. What's his name? Sir Clifford. Yeah, Sir Clifford. 1941. Okay. Governor General from 1919 to 1954. Clifford. The governors of Nigeria. 1931, 1935, 1940, 1943, 49, 1954. Macpherson. Sir John Macpherson. Sir John Macpherson was the governor of Nigeria in 1954. Then in 1955, John Macpherson, Loshiwambe in 1955. 1960, Wilson Robertson. Wilson Robertson was there in 1960. So it should be between Macpherson and Robertson. I want the Governor General of Nigeria in 1955 to 1960. So I want one rig election here. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lọ síbi tí mo fẹ́ gbọ́ gangan. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ kan, I said something earlier on wípé anything tí èèyàn bá ń ṣe, do it with all transparency. Má fi gbá kan bọ̀ kan no, because what you do today will tell tomorrow. Ẹ lè ṣe lẹ́ni out of ignorance. But by the time the nemesis will catch on you, why did I do this? You won't be able to move, you won't be able to do anything. That was exactly what happened to Nnamdi Azikiwe. Don't run for money. Don't do anything for money. Don't do it for fame. Don't do it for the connection or the contacts. But do it for the love of it. Do it with all your heart, all your might. It might not yield the dividend today, but it will definitely pay off tomorrow. And if you are doing it for the money, you are doing it for the name. So for the popularity, fame, other than for the love and for your own integrity. Tomorrow, the result will also come. Then, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why didn't I refuse it in the first place? At the moment, tebatile tese bonu eba igbas. Tebatile she once. You won't be able to turn back again. Ó dàbí ẹni tó commit atrocity. Téèyàn kan wá ka ìyàwó ilé tó lọ́kọ ńlé tó lọ ń yàlè. Wọ́n ka níbi tó ti ń yàlè. Wọ́n wá ṣe fídíò ẹ̀ ní kọ̀kọ̀ kò mọ̀. Ó ti wọnú ọ̀gá o. Ṣé rí ẹni tó ṣe fídíò ẹ̀? Ó ní àǹfààní láti gorí ẹ̀. This is what you and I know. This is your video. Wọ́n blackmail ẹ̀. Mo ní ìdówó alọ́mọ́ wá. Mo ní ìdí ara ẹ̀ gangan agbára alẹ̀ torí kò fẹ́ kí ilé òun ó bàjẹ́. By the time tó bá máa wo wípé ṣé tòun ò ti tán báyìí tó bá máa fi turn back ilẹ̀ á ti bàjẹ́. A máa commit ni tí wọ́n bá parọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan irọ́ lè wọ́n máa fi cover tí wọ́n bá ti parọ́ méjì ó di méjì á tún fi kọ́ á di mẹ́ta from there ẹni tí ò kí ń parọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. It can happen to anybody. It happens to pastors. It happens to imams. It happens to anybody. Irọ́ náà ló máa fi borí ẹ̀. Ìgbà tó bá máa yá àwàdì parọ́ kìíní tó máa ń bá ẹ̀tẹ̀ jáde wá. Whatever you want to do, be careful. Not because of today, but because of tomorrow.
Actually said that he wanted me to know the truth because he wanted me to know how much trouble I was in.
You mentioned statistics. You were collecting figures. Is that for labor and unemployed people only or general?
Primarily, but obviously my interest was in the population
of
generally.
Nigeria.
Yes. And Awolowo, the Yoruba leader of the action group,
yep,
and Chief Enaharo, they too, other people were saying, where are all these millions of people in the north? Where are they? We're going up there to campaign. We want to know, And you see all these, thousands of miles of not very developed countryside, and yet the northerners are claiming that their voting registration figures are larger than in the south, larger, far more people up there. Well, actually, if you went through the Igbo land, Enugu and that, you saw lots and lots of people. If you went to Ibadan, again, Ibadan teeming, with millions of people. But we didn't actually see many northerners, and obviously not many northerners at that time.
No. Ṣé ti gbọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ sọ pé the northerners àwọn ló ní population jù wá lọ. Ẹ gbọ́, in the southern part of the country you see many people in Ibadan, you see millions of them. Anyway, that's not our problem anyway, because we don't want to get distracted. Fẹ́ kí ìyẹn kó jẹ́ wàhálà wa mọ́. What we are particular about is something that is about to come
to Lagos. So this did arouse suspicion. Now, the Europeans, not stupid, we are watching what's going on in Nigeria, And we too are beginning to feel there's something not quite right here, that maybe the elections are not going to be as straightforward as they're meant to be. Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy, and it was expected that the nationalist leaders would win through. But actually, when the election results were announced by the Governor-General, before the vote was even in, didn't count for that, he didn't wait for that. I have to tell you, the British were counting the votes.
Before the election, before Kimoto County, the result of election was already out. So they knew what they wanted to do, and oh my God, a country cannot continue like this. Could possible.
And the British cannot be trusted. They look after their friends. Loyalty is the big thing for the British.
So which is that we are not British friends. So they look after their friends, which is the Northerners. So Ejo, let's count British government out of this. Let us count the British government out of this.
And we were friends with the emirs of the north. We looked on people like Inaharo and Awolowo as rather dangerous people. They might even be communists. That's ridiculous, actually. They couldn't be communists in 1,000 years. But this was a sort of thing that was being said. And we were, Europeans, were getting a bit worried about all this. It wasn't quite the honest, straightforward election that we were hoping for.
Apart from Professor Anderson and Dr. Patrick Wilmot that supported your submission on the rigged election, there were other people who also served in the colonial office in your days. I mean, who opposed to this submission?
Initially, I was warned of what was going on by my senior officer, a Major Bonker. I didn't know, and I knew that the Governor-General had directed me to take all the office staff of the Ministry of Labour to help Chief Okoti Igbo in politicking in Warri. And this was most irregular, and I refused to do this. Having refused an order, I knew what the drill is. You resign. I resigned my post. That is the proper thing to do. What they did then was rather devious. They persuaded me to withdraw my resignation, and when I did, they sacked me. It didn't go through, but I thought it was a bit low after I'd resigned and was prepared to leave the country. This was not very nice behaviour. They later withdrew this and said that I had been of some service to the state, and actually commended me for what I had done, and said I could leave Nigeria with splendid testimonials, and we shook hands on this. And this was done with the recognition of the Deputy Governor-General, Sir Ralph Grey. And then I left Nigeria the first time and took up a job as a personnel officer, a very big job, with the Esso refinery. And then government came after me, declared that I was a traitor, and I had betrayed the British people, ought to be imprisoned, and I lost that job. And then they came to me again and said it's all been a big mistake, dreadful mistake. I'm a jolly decent chap, Oxford chap, and they put me on a plane straight back to Nigeria, where I'd make up for the time I'd been away. There's a great deal of good work for me to do, and we fell for this. We shouldn't have gone back, but we did.
Now, if you recall what you said about the role of the Governor-General and the attitude of the British government in particular, regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okoti Igbo, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous, is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence.
Shatigbo, they knew that the Northerners would do what they say. That is, they will act, they will dance to the tune of the British government after the independence. But they knew that the Southerners, our leaders then, would not listen to them. And that's exactly what is still going on in the country today.
If it had any, the North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there. They weren't even on the platform. This was incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence.
No, the people in the North did not want the independence, but when the British flag, none of those people lower nibe. None of the people tí wọ́n jà fún independence ló jẹ́ kó wà ńbẹ̀. The Northerners did not want independence. They didn't want to go. But I see no reason today. I want that somebody say we own Nigeria. But Nigeria belongs to the Northerners. Because in the first place, they never wanted independence. Remember in 1966, after the first coup d'etat, the Northerners were demonstrating that they wanted to go. They don't want to be part of Nigeria. That they needed their country. But all of a sudden, the British government called their leader, go on. That you can be the leader, you can rule these people. Láti gbà láti wà nínú bondage tàwa yìí. They didn't want to go, they didn't have it in mind. But now, tí wọn ò fẹ́ wá lọ mọ́ yìí, torí ọbẹ̀ ti tutù tán, wọ́n ti di àti adáhán, we are going. We are not turning back. No going back.
Said about the role of the
Emi Gerard, Baba, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ púpọ̀ wá kẹ́ ìyá wa Bọ́lá Odúsànyà Akínyìnmá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Governor General and the attitude of the British government in particular regarding the fear that Awolowo, Okotie-Eboh, and the lot of them from the south are dangerous. Is there a particular reason? Why the fear from the British government? Is it that they don't want to release or relinquish Nigeria? They still want to control Nigeria?
They knew that the North would do as they said after independence. If it had any, the North would just, because it was their habit, they liked the British, whereas the nationalists were an unknown factor. Actually, when they took the flag down and hoisted the Nigerian flag, not one of the major nationalist politicians was there. They weren't even on the platform. This was incredible. These were the people who had sought independence. The people in the North didn't want independence. They didn't want the British to leave. So this was a farce. And for most Europeans who were very close and watching this, we were disgusted. We thought this really had been manipulated, this election. It was unworthy. It was unworthy of the British people, this. This was no honest, straightforward.
That is to tell you that British government has scams. Even the European people were disgusted by no action British government in Nigeria. That is, they didn't support the way they handed Nigeria over to the Northerners on a platter of gold. So, and it's about console the British government are going to fight for us, blah, 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 blah. Let us go to Kiniko, let us go. They will just be laughing at you. They will pretend as if, yeah, they are in support. But they are not in support of what we're doing. They are not. Because they know that by the time we leave, we are living for good. And no going back. Nobody can manipulate us. But we are in for it.
The thing that you would expect Britain, the mother of parliaments, to do. This was cheap and low and criminal. And I opposed it. And I opposed it then, and I've opposed it ever since. And I'm telling you the truth. And I was warned, if I told you this state secret, my life could be forfeit.
Earlier on, you said the British government wanted the North in alliance with either of the southern region, either with the Yorubas or with the Igbos.
But
without which they cannot
they can't do this
rule the country.
The problem was that Awolowo was a highly principled man.
Okay.
You didn't talk to Awolowo about squalid deals and fixing things. Awolowo was not that kind of person. If you read his books, this man was a world statesman. And his young lieutenant.
That's the quality of a good leader. Timothy sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Don't fix things in a wrong way. Don't manipulate. Don't cut corner. Do things according to the principle of it. Do things the way it should be. Because of what you want to gain today. Because you want to become a rich man today. Because you want people to start singing your praises today. To carry you up high. Calling you chief. Calling you Babare Babake. You are manipulating your way. And as you are doing it, you are succeeding. You are doing it successfully. But a time is coming when you will hit the brick wall. You will be trapped. Then you know. By the time a time will come to say, wàá fẹ́ gbìyànjú pé kó tún ṣe. Like Obasanjo wanted to retrace his way. But it's quite unfortunate pé ó ti tọwọ́ ẹ̀ bọnú wàhálà ìdààmú tẹ́lẹ̀. All because a fẹ́ lówó yìí. But at the end of the day, look at what is happening to him. Akeredolu wanted to trace his way back. But because of the rigging of the election in those states, tí mo bá support kìíní case wa ṣì wà ní tribunal, ó máa wú case mi jáde, wọ́n á gbé fún opposition mi, and you don't want to live there. I see no reason téèyàn ò ṣe jókòó wípé now I have become the governor of this state. I made some promises before I came to power. Now, ẹ jẹ́ kí n fulfill promises me. In the next election, when it comes, you won't need to spend a dime to campaign. You just roll out your campaign committee. Even the people will troop out en masse to support you because you fulfill your promise. Or your promises. But you got there, people thought you were going to fulfill your promises, but you got there, started enriching your pockets, behaving otherwise. When they call you, said those are the political statements. Political statement mo making by now. Wá jẹ́ kán sọ̀rọ̀. Ìgbà tí election bá máa dé, ìgbà yẹn lẹ máa kó tọ́ọ̀gì síta because you want to come back there by fire by force. But instead of you to have done the right thing, you failed to do it. Now that you want to go back again, you need their assistance, you need their help, you need their support, you need their contribution. Wàá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní cut corner. Gbogbo owó tó ti wá ń kójọ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó yẹ kó ná sílùú, wàá wá kó yẹn jáde, wàá máa fi sponsor àwọn terrorists. Wàá máa fi sponsor àwọn thug, political thuggery. Àwọn yẹn náà máa yẹ, bàbá o. Political thuggery wọ́n pè ní political youth in politics. Adjective yẹn wọ́n kàn fi qualify yín, you don't want it. You don't want it. You just an ordinary political thuggery. Because Awolowo kò ṣe manipulate, you cannot manipulate him. But ẹ wá wo bí tí wọ́n gbà tó ń fi achieve goal wọn.
Chief Enahoro was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. However, they did do a deal with Zik, Dr. Azikiwe,
Okay.
from the east.
Now, ẹ wá wo àwọn mẹ́ta tí wọ́n dárúkọ yìí, Awólọ́wọ̀, Enahoro, Zik. Now, Enahoro ó wá láti minority group. Awólọ́wọ̀ from majority region. Zik from majority region. Enahoro was absolutely brilliant, exceptionally brilliant. Obafemi Awólọ́wọ̀ was full of principles. Not easy to be manipulated. You cannot cut corner where he is because he's full of principle. And what makes a man is the ability to say yes and stand by your yes. Irú leaders will lewa jeleni because some politicians are watching this program and some politicians will still be watching this program after Tabashiton. I know quite a few number of them will do that. Tí bá wo àwọn èèyàn wọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé wọn will watch this program or they watch it after the program. Ìtẹ́jẹ́ ẹrú politician irú leader wo lẹni tẹ́ǹtì torí ẹ̀ sá káàkiri irú leader wo ló jẹ́. Example wo ló jẹ́? Is it the typical example of Awólọ́wọ̀ or typical example of Zik? Is it the typical example, man with full principle that has the love of his people at heart, or somebody that wants money and sell his people? Acquiring wealth, enriching his pockets at the expense of his people. Ask yourself this question. You know that person that you are campaigning for, that you are ready to die for. You know his quality. You know his vision. You know his mission. You know the truth. But you're trying to hide. But let me tell you something. You can run, but you cannot hide. You can run, but you cannot hide. The evil man goes after him. Force of gravity. When you throw something up and it goes up vertically upward, it will definitely descend on you. It will definitely descend on you because it goes up vertically. What goes up must surely come down. You know the right thing to do. You know you are supporting the wrong person. But because the evil they are doing does not affect you, you don't want to care about others. Remember, the nemesis will catch on you. Let's continue.
Dr. Azikiwe, there was this big problem in Nigeria. It's the same big problem in America and in Britain. How do you get funds to fight elections? The candidates in Nigeria had no money, but they did have marketing boards, which are a kind of semi-nationalized industry. And they borrowed money from the marketing boards. But there was a suspicion that Dr. Azikiwe, who has formed his own bank, the African Continental Bank, was actually bankrupt. But he was borrowing very large sums of money from the marketing boards and not necessarily repaying the loans. We knew this. We had a great secret service.
Now, so that was it, my people. Because Azikiwe, anything téèyàn bá ń ṣe, wọ́n máa ń ṣọ́ wa o. Wọ́n máa ń ṣọ́ wa. So they may pretend as if they don't see you today, but they see you. Let's quickly rush over it because I've gone beyond my time.
All the politicians' mail was opened. Everything that any major politician did in Nigeria, we knew in hours. We watched. we knew all that was going on.
Are you saying, in essence, that Dr. Azikiwe took money?
He was blackmailed by the British to do our bidding. We told Dr. Azikiwe that he could go to prison if an inquiry was carried out into his bank and his financial circumstances. However, we would not want to be vindictive if Dr. Azikiwe was cooperative in helping forward the plans that we had made in the best interests of Nigeria. Dr. Azikiwe has nothing in common with the northern politicians. He loathed the northern politicians. But Dr. Azikiwe went north, did as he was told, and what he was promised was this. The real power, effective power, would be in the hands of the northern emirs. However, it would look great if the president was Dr. Azikiwe and he was given a field marshal's uniform and an admiral's uniform. He asked, please, could he have a row of medals? But they said, well, no, that was a bit difficult, to get the medals. So when the ambassadors started arriving, he was known to be asking people from foreign countries, perhaps they had a medal for his uniform. We thought this was terrible, but it was said that this happened. He was very vain. And for a time, he functioned as first the Governor General, and then when Nigeria became a republic, as the president. But he had no power. And when he did try to tell the army, he said, I'm the field marshal, the army has got to do with this. They said, hey, you're just a ceremonial figure. You have no power. The Prime Minister, Balewa, gives us our orders. So there was a feeling then that there was going to be trouble. And then
that is it. That is how far we can go on this tonight. As of now, what Abuja, they are going there as a ceremonial head of state. It's quite unfortunate I've gone beyond my time tonight. It wasn't intentional, please. So, round up program round it up. We are going to continue from here tomorrow by the special grace of God. But before then, don't forget to keep sharing this program. 1st of May is going to be powerful, fully loaded. So let's meet again tomorrow. And if you want to buy a land, an acre of land is available. Please connect us and contact us after this program. But before then, have a wonderful night rest.